right, so you ladies are like a thing, right?
Are we?
I don't know. That's what I heard.
Are we? Are we a thing?
I think to us we're a thing.
I
Like
think,
collectively, you're like a thing.
yeah, I think people are, kind of digging it. They're loving Duffy Women and following Duffy Women. And I love Duffy Women. It was my idea, and I think it's the coolest thing that I might have ever done. It is.
It was
Here we go.
my idea.
Here we go.
You're right, Mom. It was totally
Here we go.
your idea.
Here we go.
I did run it past you when I had the idea. I did do that.
I runt it past you.
So no, I mean, we had talked about doing this podcast, I don't know, about a year or so ago, and then that didn't work out for various reasons. So we said, well, you know what, we still should do something anyway. And so
Okay.
that's what we decided to do. And we, one day, I think it was around Christmas time, wasn't it, where we decided
was
to...
before that.
Maybe before
No,
that.
it was definitely way before that.
We
Because
started
did the
back
photo
in
shoot in
September.
November.
Yeah.
Okay, so
We
it must have
started
been before
around
that.
our trip to Cape May.
We did, yeah.
We had a girls' trip to Cape May last year with AAA.
What is a
Thank
girls'
you.
trip?
It's
Girls go and talk about men.
Yeah,
and how
we
annoying
go.
they are all the time.
How much we hate you.
Yeah. Oh no, hate's a strong word.
You're right. You're right. My therapist told
Strongly
me that
dislike.
this week. he was like, you sound really judgy tonight. And I literally looked at him and I was like, I know. I'm right though, and I don't care.
I am judging.
And he was like, I don't think he knew what to make of it. He was like, oh, okay.
Okay, all right. No, seriously.
Okay. I can see where this is going.
Yeah, good
Quickly.
luck. Yeah, I was going to say, you're the only guy in the room, so I do kind of feel for you right now. I really
I
do.
have courage.
I was
You'll
going to
survive.
say,
I have
hey,
courage.
you know what? You knew what you were getting into. We met prior to this
Yes, we
show.
did.
You knew exactly who we were, what we
Yes.
were like,
Yes.
and you still agreed to meet us here tonight
Absolutely.
and invite us to your studios.
Absolutely. And
So-
and you folks had a pretty cool event that was yesterday, and I can't speak the ins and outs of it. I was just there for the alcohol. But I did spend some money. I bought my daughter a few things.
Appreciate that. We were at Athleta in Shady Side, and we've been partnering with them a lot lately and doing events with them, and we have a couple things coming up with them in the fall and then again in the winter. But Heather and Cricket are good friends down there, and everybody that works, it's been so much fun doing things with them. But we promoted this private pre-sale that they were having, and we invited a bunch of people down, and everybody came down and had fun. We had
busy.
wine, we had food, and
Spent
they
way too
spent
much
some money.
money.
Yeah, we all spent money, and they spent money, and I think Athleta was very happy, and that's a good thing, and that's all
I
we
ate
care
some
about.
cheese. I ate all the cheese.
Yes.
And crackers.
You did.
I just
Every
eat-
time I turned around, I'm like, Sarah, that's for the guests. Those are, that's for
I'm
the
a guest. I'm in the store.
That was for the people who were actually coming down, and
I
not for
I like food. So.
I forgot was it a burrito?
Yeah, you know what?
No, it was
I'm
tater
always-
tots.
It was tater tots, sweet potato tater tots. I was really looking forward to them, but
Yeah, that was. I usually don't do that.
Well, we
there
met.
was-
We met prior to the Athleta event at
Yes.
Shady Grove there
Yes.
in Shady Side, and Sarah hadn't eaten, and she was already
I
like a
don't-
little
I-
tipsy.
Yeah, I got tipsy off like a half a glass of wine, and that's just not okay.
So
What'd
you
call it?
agreed to get her
Pre-game.
tater tots.
So you call it
Pre-gaming.
pre-game.
Yeah, we
Pre-game.
pre-gamed
did.
it.
I'm learning so much.
You've
you
never
have
heard
so
that?
much to learn in this.
In
in
a
this
day and a
episode.
half, I've learned so much. I don't remember all of it, but I believe that I
It's in
remember.
there.
Well,
it's in there.
It's
Someday
in
it'll all
there.
come back. Let us remind you, you had fun.
Oh, the horror.
Yeah, you had fun.
Yeah, supposedly I did.
You did. You did so good, Eric. You were doing great.
According to us, you had fun.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, you guys, you gals came and arrived today, so you're here. So I must not have done anything too bad.
No. We agreed. Yes,
We've seen
it
a
was
lot
all
worse in our
wonderful.
lives,
Oh my gosh.
especially in college. But I won't.
I forgot your burrito. Now, burritos in general. Do you like Mexican food?
No.
Oh, I
don't?
love
you
Mexican
don't?
food.
I hate Mexican food.
That's because, and okay, I'm going to get some hate for this, but we don't really have a lot of legitimate
We don't.
Mexican food
Why would you get hate for that?
places.
We really don't.
Because Pittsburgh doesn't have it. We're starting to. I think there's something down.
Really?
You don't even live here anymore.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. Because
Is she
moving,
qualified to even say that?
Yeah,
not,
right.
but it's true. But
moving
she's
and
not
living in
qualified.
Chicago, like I believe now, Mexican food is not the tacos from El Paso that you get at the Giant Eagle. Like
She said "eagle." Did you hear her? Pittsburgh is back. She said it.
It's coming out.
She
Listen
may,
to her.
she may elongate her
Pittsburgh is-
A's
yeah.
like she does, but
Yeah.
that eagle was a true Pittsburgh.
Oh, that's very
So
funny.
did she do the whole sunglasses thing before she went to Chicago, or is this
No.
kind
She
of this
is.
is a new thing?
She was
She
born-
has come
born
into
like this.
herself,
There it
and
is.
so the
this is who I've
sunglasses.
always been. I'm just allowing her to come out in real life. You know.
You
And
wouldn't
she
be able
does.
to see the devil horns in her eyes.
Yeah.
if she wasn't
I'm not
wearing.
really sure that worked very well for Britney Spears. I'm just gonna lay it out there.
She shaved her head, but I
Haircut and-
understand.
I think she was.
get it.
I think she was, drawn or led down that track. Unfortunately, I'm choosing this life, independently.
All right.
Okay.
It's the glasses. She's got it. She's got it all going
So I
on.
can look at everybody and judge them, and they don't see me.
The beauty of Duffy Women, though, and what I love, is that you two are so polar opposite
We really
of one
are.
another. I mean, you were in the same household with us. You grew up together. We tried
Are
to
there
raise you the
actually baby
same.
pictures?
Oh God,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
There's
Okay.
There's a
ton
lot of
yeah.
unibrow.
Yeah.
There's a lot of unibrow.
Yeah.
I
So
have a
much.
unibrow right now. I actually need to pluck it.
Same. Me too. And it's your
Anywho.
fault. You birthed us.
That
Genetics is a bitch.
It
It's
really
truly.
is. I can already see it starting in my daughter's middle right here, and I just want to rip it off.
And you probably will.
But she's too young. Maybe another
probably
year
will.
or so.
All right,
She's
so
5.
speaking of the unibrow, she's how old?
5.
And you're worried about a unibrow on a 5-year-old.
No, I'm really not. I think
she's
she'll
only
rock it.
she's only 3.5.
She'll be 4 and 2.
Okay, well, she's
but-
Wait,
definitely
wait.
not 5.
I said in
Listen,
a year.
I
when
went
she's
to a
5.
bad
Oh, in a
public
year
school,
when
but I
she's
know the
a-
difference between 5 and 3.5. That's all I'm saying.
you.
I'm just putting it out there.
Thank you. I agree.
All right.
And it is your daughter's age, right? I mean,
Yeah, she's 4 in November. She'll
Yeah.
be 4 in November.
Okay.
will be.
Okay. So, speaking of unibrows,
Oh, wow.
since that has to be
Yes, speaking
a
of.
thing,
Yeah.
help me understand something.
Oh, no.
So I like social media. You
I do
like
too.
social
I
media.
do.
The
I
both
love
of you
it. Yeah.
obviously like social media.
Yes.
Excuse me.
And I've used it for business, and I like it. It's amusing to me, and it is kind of cool to go back and look at your history. It's kind of like an online,
Photo
journal
album and
or
journal,
a photo
yeah.
album, or some people use it as a diary.
Yeah.
My question is, what is up with all these photo filters that majority women use?
Oh dear.
Hey,
What
men-
is
men
up
we
with
just
the
hit
filters?
We just hit 2 groups right there: women and younger generations.
Yeah, that kind of feels personal.
Ooh, it does a little bit.
No,
that's
Did I
okay.
say
it's just
did
a
I say younger
reality.
generation? Or did I?
You said what's up with the photo filters looking at me directly.
Oh, so
can
you
you tell?
implied. Yeah,
How
how would
can
you know?
tell?
Anyways,
You're on sunglasses.
you can't see past that microphone stand. What are you talking about?
He's looking behind you.
That's true. He's way over here.
yeah.
No, I think the photo filters add a creative composition. I mean, I think, and this is I do social media for a living, so you're asking a very legitimate
aware.
question in my repertoire. But I mean, and she actually was the one that taught me.
I was a priest before I did this. You can ask me anything you want. I'll take a good confession.
Were you?
You were
no,
not a
I was
priest,
not a
were
priest.
you?
What
You guys,
what flipping
even
church would
I knew
possibly?
that was a
What
joke.
church would possibly let me
I
be
don't
a reverend? Are you
know.
kidding me?
Crazier things have happened.
I was
Yeah,
going to
maybe.
say,
Yeah, maybe.
crazier things
Maybe.
happen. Okay.
Continue. I'm sorry.
No, and
I taught you what?
You taught me the importance of a photo composition, and specifically it was from Instagram. But there's so much noise out there that you have to be recognized just in an instant by the photo
Right.
that people see before they even look at your profile or the content. So that's why I use photo.
I think you need to
filters.
delve into the deeper meaning behind that, though. I think the reason why people
But don't
want to be noticed and want to be different and have filters and have a composition to their Instagram. If you go on my Instagram,
Yeah,
Sarah
she does it
_
differently.
Duffy _ go ahead.
Well, you're just Sarah Ann. How the hell we even know what your last name is?
Well, I'm private because of my daughter, but eventually,
Okay.
Maybe if I get famous, I'll let people in. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
But I have a composition where I upload a different, a full photo, and then I'll do a quote, and then I'll do a skinny photo. And if you go and you see my Instagram, it's a very composed.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed that when the accounts I follow, their profiles are composed in a way that is interesting, and you want to because these people, I think what it's about is these people just want to get noticed and make money off of it's the influencer generation. Everyone wants to
What
be an
does that
influencer.
even mean?
Yeah,
What
it
does
just
that
means
really mean?
explain that. Explain
It just means that it's a new way of making money, and people make money. I mean, there is this woman who, Jen Selter, I think her name is. She's like a workout queen, and she has. She basically just posts, pictures of not her butt, but she has she's a skinny white woman with a big butt, and so people love her. But she literally all she posts is like pictures of her squatting but she has a composition to her page, and people watch it. She has like 12 million followers,
I'm
and I know that it's because of
why
that.
they watch
My
it.
main point is that people will
That's a
people want to
composition
be
in itself.
famous and are okay with not being famous, but they want to be noticed and make money off of being themselves. And
like,
it's not lazy, but it's a new way to make money. And I mean, if I could just make money off of being myself and posting pictures to Instagram, and people paid me to post to Instagram, yeah, I would. Like, I would take the money from sponsors and be myself and post certain pictures, and that's what it's about.
There's definitely an easy way to do that right away.
Nakedness?
Yeah, that's
course.
exactly
I mean,
right.
like,
Look
I'm not
at
above it. Let's see where I'm
I'm
at.
not saying you should do it. I'm just
see
saying there's
where
an
I'm at in 2
there's an
years.
instant way to do
see
it.
where
God.
I'm at.
Give me 2 years, and if I'm still not there, I'll post a thong pic. I'm not above it.
Hey, as
Oh,
long
you
as
better be
it's
above it.
you-
I
Your
am. I'm
mom's
just kidding.
here,
I
for
am.
God's sake.
Oh my God, I've
I
seen
am.
everything. Believe
Well,
me.
yeah, you bathed them new when they were babies. You have seen everything.
Well, I mean, like, I've seen the two of them. That's the one thing, you know, they're their own people, and it's tough, and they are, you know. And again,
You have your hands full.
We're good kids.
There's no question about that.
I'm not saying you're not good kids. You're wonderful kids. You're amazing kids. I love you both. It's just, it's hard. You have to understand as a parent, when you become that generation, it's hard because, you know what I mean? Like, it was your parents' generation. Well, all of a sudden now you're the generation where you're, you know, watching your kids do things that you're like, what in the world are you
but
doing? I don't
can I say something
understand.
Hey,
now?
speak for yourself,
No
soul
offense,
sister.
but who raised this generation?
Yeah,
It's not about that. It's not. No. I'm not saying that. No, and it's not bad. Every generation has good and bad. I'm not
Understood.
saying that, and I'm
Totally.
not pointing that out. And you go to that, but I'm not pointing that out. What
I'm
I'm
just
pointing
saying.
out is that each generation has different things, good things and bad. So being now, you know, I'm the previous generation, so I'm watching this generation. Just like when my mom or dad would say things like, oh my God, we never did that as a kid. Or their generation before them said, we used to walk uphill, you know, 10 miles in the
Segregation
snow
was
without,
also
you know
still
what
a
I
thing,
mean? But my point is, oh my God, you take it
really
there.
did
That's
that.
not what I meant. I mean, but truly.
He really walked in the snow 15 miles with no shoes
When I was in
on.
this town, Cornell School's on top of the hill. Trust me. I missed that bus. My dad booted me out. I was walking to school.
He was
There
like,
you go.
bye.
So, but that's what
We
I'm
didn't have
saying. It's
buses.
just unique. That's all. It's just
Right.
it's interesting, and it's also it's hard. But you know what? You guys are your own people. You're going to do your own thing. It's hard to let go of that because you raised these kids from when they're these little tiny beautiful
I totally
babies.
get it now. I understand.
And now all of a sudden you're like, oh, but now you've grown into beautiful young women. You're independent. You wear bras to events like you did at the Athleta event yesterday, and
Sometimes
it's
we
all
wear no
wonderful. So
don't
I
She
mean,
wore a
it's all
bra with
good.
no shirt.
Yeah.
That's what she did.
I wore a sports bra.
Yep, she did.
You guys, if someone was running down the street in a sports bra and a shirt, you would be
So-
like, oh, she's working out.
Okay, so let me. I'm the guy in the room. Let me just throw my little 2 cents in here.
Oh,
Yeah.
here we
I
go.
didn't get a full view because you had a cover up on it,
Exactly,
and I
and I
wasn't
also-
asking for one. But I want to ask you this question: was that was the sides and back all done like a sports bra, or was it done like a bra?
Oh
It was done
yeah,
like a bra.
it was a sports bra. It came back up around your neck, and it was like a
Yeah, like a
racer
racerback. Yeah.
Okay.
It was.
but
it
the
was.
front was like, nipples are this close to coming out. Yeah, it's okay.
It was
It's fine. It's not a big deal.
I know it's not a big deal. I'm not the one making it a big deal. All of you people are.
No,
It was
looked
fashionable
good.
and you look cute.
Hey,
And if
you
I
know
had
what?
your body-
I was going to say, if I had your body, I'd be doing it
I
too,
would
but
do the
I
same
don't.
thing.
So, and that's all
You
good.
could do
It's
the
all
same
good.
thing.
It's acceptable. Totally acceptable.
You would look so good in
I
a
bet
sports
your
bra.
I bet
Eric.
your boobs look great in a sports bra.
Shh, don't tell anybody.
Try it out. Maybe.
Well, I feel like that
Next
should be
podcast.
our next podcast. Yeah, we all wear Athleta sports bras, even
Mm-hmm.
Eric.
Okay.
He's like, all right, I'll do that.
I'll bring it. I'll
You give
bring
me
it.
enough of these or anything like that. By the end of the night, it's entirely possible, especially if they're paying me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, anything for
So
that.
okay, so it was a successful event as far
Yes,
as you know,
it
right?
was.
Yeah.
really
Yes,
was.
I think it was. Yes,
Yeah,
I think
more-
everybody had fun. Everybody got wonderful, wonderful clothing.
The
and-
discount was great.
And the discount was great.
And
It's
they're
being
shipping it
shipped.
to you
I
for
mean,
free.
it's all perfect. It was a wonderful event. Hopefully, we'll be doing some more of those with Athleta in the future. And enjoying everything that they do. And they're a great company. They're a great company to work for as well.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind if you're
really
thinking
are.
about that.
All right, now
But
we
yeah.
paid the bills. Back to the question at hand. Now, the question at hand was why exactly do people
Yes.
why are people so obsessed with these photo filters?
Why are we obsessed with them? Because
Isn't reality good enough?
No, I mean, I think
Yeah, you want to be authentic and you want to be real and all that kind of stuff, but yet everything about you, you change things.
That's not true. I mean, you don't change things. I don't think you change it enough to where, I mean, some people, there's always going to be people who take things to the extreme.
True.
And I don't think that I think the majority of people out there, they really are just lightening their photos. They're whitening their teeth a little bit. But that they're not drastically changing their appearance. They're just making themselves feel better about the composition of their photos and themselves. And I think that even though social media hasn't been around forever, I think people have been doing that forever in different ways, like girdles and, whitening their teeth, but in different ways.
Wearing
like
bras in
girdles.
public?
Yeah.
Did you just say the word girdle?
do you
Did I
even know
say
what
girdles?
that means?
Yeah, do you even know what
I
one
blacked
is?
out. I have no idea. I blacked out. Did I? Okay. I can spell it. Can I spell
Oh my god!
But you guys, I
I
also
never
think-
even say girdle. Yeah.
I also think it's like a form of creativity too, and I think it's right at your fingertips. And I mean, that's honestly why I like it. Like sometimes I will just post out a bunch of photos like on a Friday night when I know it's not optimized for any sort of engagement. Like that's literally probably the worst time to post. But I just have this like creative, and I like contributing to my composition and my photos and my story, and I think to the authenticity part, I mean, I think it's different for each platform. I think Facebook, I'm probably a little bit more real, but I think it's
different.
a balance too. Like I don't go out there talking about how perfect I am. Like I talk about the fact that I get lip fillers and Botox, and like
I totally.
That's a whole other topic.
Well, I
whole
do
other
different
topic.
photos, and I'll do.
Oh, we're not glossing over this one.
She does
so good.
But it's good
my
for
second
her.
wife was addicted to it. So I mean,
I'm not addicted. I
I'm
just like
saying,
a little tweak here and there.
But you're so young.
honey, it's preventative.
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of lines, but I'm okay with
But
it.
it's correct me if I'm
Don't
wrong.
start. Don't even go
I just
there.
want to. I'm asking
I'm
you a
not even gonna
question.
start.
I don't have any
I'm
kind of experience in
asking a
this.
question.
I'm asking a question. So, Botox was the thing, and then it went to something called Restylane, right? Restylane
Yes.
was the
Oh.
next thing.
Wrestling's not
I only
very
know
good
it because
for
I
you.
paid a bunch of bills that came to the house with those line items on them. So,
Those line items.
yeah, those line items. Yeah, those line items. But isn't that like a bacteria? Someone told me it's a bacteria.
It's botulism.
It's
yeah.
botulism. Yeah, it is.
Which is a fungus. Yeah.
oh,
And
please
you're
don't say
okay
that
with- and
on
you're
record.
okay with-
No, please. Yeah,
don't
you know
know.
what, honey? You just be quiet.
It's a growing thing.
Bacteria.
Is it bacteria?
And you're
Guys,
okay
you
with that
both
being
said that. I
injected
don't
into your
know.
skin.
I mean, obviously. I mean, it's here.
It's been around for forever.
It has. It's people do it for like headaches and things.
No,
like
people
that.
do it in
And
their
body
armpits, their
odor
body
too,
odor.
and body wetness or whatever.
don't,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
you
you
guys
should.
are just judging me
Oh my
because I'm
God,
using
you
it.
should.
People do it around for headaches.
Yes, for people
Yeah,
that
they
get
do.
like very bad migraines, will get Botox
I
because
should
it
actually do
relaxes
that.
the muscle. Like it numbs the
I
muscles.
know one thing. It
essentially.
gave me headaches getting them bills.
Well, that
That
too.
gave me a headache.
Maybe
Gave me
you
a
should
headache.
have gotten
That's a
some
whole
Botox.
different thing.
And that's
yeah,
why
you
we're no
think so?
longer making that choice, which was a good
Yes.
decision.
Yes, there we go. That's awesome.
But I say if you want to do it, do it.
Yeah.
Whatever. If you want to spend the
I
money,
know. I
spend the money,
agree.
whatever.
I totally agree. And to be honest, again, I wish I could. I mean, I
each their
could
own,
probably
honestly.
use a lot of that stuff, but
You're
I,
beautiful.
you know, no, I didn't say it for that reason. I'm saying
know.
it would.
You're
At my
stunning.
age, that's my point. At my age, I could really actually use those little boosters and those little fillers and those things. But so I
No,
got it.
You don't need it.
Oh, we gotta get with Paul. Chop chop.
Yeah, I know.
Figure this out.
Oh my gosh.
He's gonna kill me right now.
He is. I was going to say you're
Sorry.
done. You are so
Sorry,
done.
buddy.
You were friends before, not now. So
He may never come back on my show again. Really.
Oh, he will. We'll be here too.
So, that might maybe next time he comes for like moral support for me.
Yes,
maybe.
I think
yeah.
that he's standing right behind you.
No, we'll get it. I got an extra mic and a seat. We'll put him right on the
Yeah,
end.
we'll just cheer him
So
on.
you were pregnant recently, a couple
Was
years, right?
I was. Yes.
I still can't believe sometimes that you grew a human inside of you.
Me neither. I can't either.
Like,
Sometimes you just want to shove them
I
back
can't
in.
believe she's raising the child.
I can't
know.
believe she's alive. I mean, honestly.
she's alive.
Why?
Honestly, it's
She's
day to day.
actually a really good mom. Like today, you would be so proud, but it wasn't for a clean purpose. It was so she didn't have to get sick. But she literally was like, Evelyn, you have to wash your hands. There's a flu going on.
Yeah.
The
And
stomach
she was
flu is
like,
going around her daycare.
Wash in, or do
I was
it in
making her
between your
scrub
fingers.
between her fingers. I was like, Evelyn, get between your fingers. And she was picking her nose at
Yeah.
the same time. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah,
Poor child.
she
Poor
was.
kid. But
She
yeah,
was.
I was pregnant recently. Yes, I was. And
Recently, you know,
Within
a couple
the last
years.
5 years.
Yeah. So okay, that's recent.
I just had a baby 2 months ago.
So
Don't I look great?
You did look really good though after you gave birth. Like you.
Thank you, honey.
You
I
bounced
agree.
back like so quick.
You did.
Totally agree. Now it's all sagged. Though.
Well, that's
It's okay.
It happens. It happens.
That's what I hear.
Anyway, I'm sorry. What are you going to compliment me or something?
No, the reason I
fishing.
have these questions, there's things about women I've never really understood. And the list is probably very long, so I'm picking out some choice ones, and I hope I get some answers.
Okay, well, we're here to answer
All right,
those questions. We are the Duffy
so
Women.
what is the deal with, like, when a woman's pregnant? Like, why is it, like, a socially acceptable thing to, like, reach out and touch her belly?
It's not.
It's not.
It's absolutely not.
Most
And I was
women hate it.
No,
Most
I was
women hate
lucky.
it.
I was very lucky. No one touched my belly until I was about 8.5 months pregnant. I'll never forget this moment. I was done. I was at 8.5 months pregnant. I was done with the world, life, everything. I went into Target and I was just so pregnant. And I went in for like a couple things, and I really tried to limit the amount of time I spent in public at 8.5 months pregnant, because I really just was willing to call anyone anything at that moment. And I remember being at the checkout line, and this woman just, I'm just sitting there checking out my stuff, and this woman behind me, she goes, "Oh my God, how far along are you?" And I looked at her, I just shot her a look, and I was like in my head, I'm like, "What? How far along do you think I am, woman? I am miserable. Look at me." And she did, and it was like slow motion. She just,
I'm carrying a bucket around.
this baby is 30 pounds. Leave me alone. Target is my church. So I just slow motion, her hand just, I can see it coming toward my belly, and I am helpless. I'm like, I got my wallet in one hand, I got my card in the other hand. I'm just like, oh, she's gonna touch me. She's gonna touch my belly, and she just like rubs my belly, and it was an older woman.
Rubs your belly.
It was an older.
It's
no.
so uncomfortable. No, it's so. Would you ever go up and touch somebody randomly?
I would, but she's a
pregnant?
poor older woman that's probably reliving, the days when she had a baby and is kind of missing it or
the
something.
days where she didn't respect people's personal space and they were taught that
Oh
women
my God.
You're missing.
Different generations.
That's
right?
and that's okay. Again, that's all okay.
They're the offended
I'm sorry, you
generation.
liked to be touched when you didn't want.
It's not an offended thing.
They are the offended
It's
generation.
the things that you guys were all really uncomfortable with, but couldn't
didn't
know how to say
because we have manners and
Manners.
we had decorum, right?
It's not that. You're allowed. You can have manners, have decorum, be polite, and
Agreed.
also ask for people to respect your space
You
and
don't
your
want
personal.
someone touching your
You don't.
belly, and I get it.
And
Like
it's-
I said, she was an older
it's
woman.
No,
fine,
I touch my belly. I'm
whatever.
fine with that. I got no problem with that.
No, if it was
I'm
like a 30-year-old dude, I'd be like, "Whoa, what's happening here?" But if she was an
Probably
older
be like,
woman,
can I get your number? Are you married?
are you single? Do you want to be the father of this baby? You're all
Oh my
right.
God!
You're
Oh
like,
my God!
touch this baby. Touch this baby.
What is she doing?
Anyway, let me finish my
I
story.
don't know.
Okay, I'm
She's
sorry.
yours.
I'm
I
sorry.
don't know.
It's true. She is
Unfortunately.
alive.
So she touches my belly, and and she just goes. So she asked me how far along I was, and then that's when she touched my belly, and I just literally shot her a look, and I go, "I'm not pregnant."
I'm just fat
She
as shit.
shut up. And she shut up.
You did not.
I did not. So over it.
Are you
done.
serious?
She literally was like, she like retreated her hand and was like, "I'm
did she
so
believe
sorry."
you?
Yes. I shed a tear. I was like, "This bitch." I haven't been to the gym in a while. Like, leave me alone.
That's what I'm gonna do.
That's what I
God,
it works every time. And she just like, you could, she just like recoiled into herself and was just like,
Okay. All right.
and I was like, deuces. Walked out of Target and was like, "That'll teach her never to touch a pregnant woman's belly
You
again."
never told me that
Yeah, I
story.
know.
I
It's
don't
a
think I
great
told. I thought I told you that
story.
story before. It was like,
No.
right before I had her. I was
that's
just
a great
over it.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't touch. Don't. Just don't
have
do
no,
it.
I have no inclination to do so.
Ask. Say,
Sure.
can I touch your belly?
Not
I love
interested.
it.
Here's the funny part.
Yeah.
We ask if we can touch a dog. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like we go down and we say, "Oh, can we? Can we pet the
Exactly.
little
And you're not
puppy
giving
or the
women
dog?"
the
or
same
what-
respect
and
as
we
the
Because
don't.
you're afraid of getting bit.
Well, that is true. Well,
you
say
say-
with a woman.
a pregnant woman. A pregnant woman.
Come on, I was gonna say there's a biting thing that could happen there.
I will bite.
Yeah, I definitely bite.
Obviously.
I was in the mood to bite, but I felt like just.
So a guy will only make the mistake one time
Yes.
of complimenting some woman on her pregnancy.
Correct.
That turns
Yeah.
out that she is not pregnant.
Oh,
We
yeah.
all have
Yeah.
a story.
Yeah.
Mine was
Everybody
in business, and my very best clients went there, and there was a receptionist there, striking young lady, and I watched her grow, and I assumed she was in pretty good shape. Thought she was growing
Yeah.
because she was pregnant. She was growing in the
Oh, my God.
the guttural
Oh,
region, which
no.
doesn't happen. The women generally they kind
Yeah.
of put it on Usually,
Well, there are all kinds of places we put it on.
True.
But, but
It's
if
not
she
just
was,
one place,
if
like
that's
a
just
guy.
one place,
But
you
here's-
would think,
right.
yeah.
So here's the thing. So if you're a guy and you see a striking woman, and she's putting weight on, as I'm pointing, yes,
Tis me, I get it.
you're
I
all
understand.
striking. There you go.
I understand.
If you see weight being put on in that region, and that region only,
You're gonna kinda think, yeah.
You make
is-
assumptions.
I get it.
Yeah.
I do.
Until you find out that you're incorrect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you don't even look at pregnant women anymore.
No.
You don't make
You're
eye,
not
you don't
here.
make eye contact with them.
Nope.
You
Yeah.
don't
No.
mention them.
That is a mistake, and then not just men make that mistake.
No,
Women
we
do
all make
too.
that
like,
mistake.
hey, when do you do? Yeah, I'm
not
not.
pregnant.
So yeah, so that's always an uncomfortable situation.
But I
So
think
you're
you
not alone.
No, I'm alone in this next one.
Okay, what's that?
Yeah, I bet you never heard this one before.
Oh no.
Oh,
Yeah,
this
here
is
we
gonna
go.
be good.
I feel like it's like confession, Eric.
I
McKenna.
know,
we make
I know.
confessions?
Eric,
We should do
Well,
it.
yeah.
because I think the commentary will be humorous when I give this to you.
Oh,
And
no.
Okay. Oh,
so,
here we go. Okay.
So on the other end of the spectrum,
Oh yeah.
I had a woman one time that was angry with me because I didn't know she was pregnant.
Oh, well, that's weird.
Oh.
Okay. Was she a romantic interest?
Think no.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so.
I was like, why would she?
No, she
how would
was
you
not.
know? How would you know her so well that she would be like upset with you? You know?
Think it through.
Oh, your ex-wife, maybe?
No, nothing to do with me. Think it through.
Oh, God.
She was a large woman.
Oh, okay.
One of the nicest people I've ever known.
I
I'm
get
not
you.
just
You
saying
couldn't
that.
tell.
I'm being honest. I worked with her for many years. And she was just a very, she was bubbly and all that stuff. And she was good at her job and a good friend.
Yeah.
Not a friend, but a good,
You saw her
acquaintance.
enough. Yeah.
Yes. She apparently, she struggled with her weight. She apparently got pregnant and was about 9 months supposedly. And I had no idea that she was pregnant. And she was really freaking pissed off at me.
Yeah.
I mean, like to the point where, and how do I work in an office and not know that someone's pregnant? Because, women
Because
tend to
I
make a
was
big
gonna
deal.
say, that's like
But
that's
I
something
was
like
in
you
sales,
hear of nothing
and I
else.
made
Okay.
a point not to go to the office. Every once in a while, I'd peek my head, and months went
Yeah.
by, and I didn't.
Yeah.
And I'm sure she had a baby shower, and I'm sure she got gifts, but I wasn't around
Maybe
then.
she had a crush on you.
Didn't. No. What?
Maybe she had a crush on you.
I don't know.
Was she
How
married?
dare you not notice I was pregnant?
Well, here's the
But
deal.
no, that was exactly what she said to me, and I
She said
felt.
that?
She goes.
Yeah.
She goes. Just,
no.
I'm due. She said something like, "I'm due in 20 days or something."
You haven't noticed.
I go, "Due? Are you going on vacation?" I didn't know. Are you leaving? You going on
my
vacation?
God.
I didn't know. It was an
Yeah.
honest mistake. Now,
Yeah.
of course, I was bastardized for being so insensitive when I just didn't flippin' know.
Yeah.
That's okay, though. I don't think
I was
that's
going
a
to
problem.
say, and you know what? There are big women, small women,
Yeah.
everybody in between. Sometimes
Yes.
you can't tell. I mean, honestly, there
She
are.
was 9 months and I
you
couldn't
know,
tell.
Well,
Yeah.
but see, but
still,
still,
there
people
were-
carry it differently.
There's an
Everybody carries
Instagram
it
model.
differently.
Exactly. And I'm telling you now, I know, but she just, her name was Carolyn. She was Carolyn. I didn't even give it another second thought.
Yeah.
She was.
No, there was an Instagram model who was very fit, and she was 6 or 7 months pregnant, and she had abs still, and like a little tiny bump. And I forget her name, but she's famous on Instagram. But you couldn't tell she was pregnant up until so it doesn't matter what size you are.
That's
Sometimes
what I
you
said.
just
That's
carry,
what I mean. You could be
sometimes you
everybody
just
carries
carry
differently. You could be super
I was
small
large.
or larger.
You
No,
could tell.
you were
No, you
cute.
weren't. You were
I was
cute.
cute. I was fishing. Thank you. I was cute. I was adorable.
Have you noticed who the funny one is?
Me.
Funny
Yeah.
and
Adorable.
really humble one.
Yes, she's also the most humble of all of us. Yeah,
It's me.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, we know.
Whatever.
I think if I was going to get on the bad side of either three of you, it wouldn't be a good idea for any of you, I don't think. But you are not the one. You are not the one. That
yesterday
I don't
in the
think
car.
I'd want to be on your bad
Oh
side.
my God!
I have receipts. I come with the receipts, honey. You can't cross me.
You know what? You can't get a word in edgewise. She comes at you with
Spider monkey.
claws, with fangs, with
Maybe that's why I'm single.
everything.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, it's like,
I'm a good
honestly,
girlfriend.
you cannot even. You don't stand a chance if you cross Sarah. And you never know what's going to cross Sarah. You never know. It could be,
She's like
opened a
going in
wound.
right
We
now.
opened a wound.
Oh, wait. The
She's,
sky
like,
is
really
the sky
upset.
is blue. What?
That's accurate.
I mean,
so
it's
accurate.
so true.
Do I
That
sound
is
like
what.
that?
Yes. We both
wait,
had
so wait,
this
no,
experience
so-
yesterday in
Yeah.
the car on the
So-
way to our event.
Whatever.
Or so are you like?
Unbothered.
Are you raging like throughout the month?
No, I'm really
Not
not.
just once a week? Are you?
I'm an innocent. I really am innocent 99% of the time, and then
my
there's that.
God.
Then there's that 1% that just comes out, and I'm like, Jersey all of a sudden, like I'm South Jersey.
That
Like,
is because she
out of my
literally
way.
watches Jersey Shore repeats.
I do. I'm
Like
obsessed.
more than
Snooki,
anyone.
I love
I've never
you.
seen any of that
it's
stuff. See, do you
terrible.
watch that stuff? Do you watch that stuff?
I probably did back in the day because I used to have to with radio. You had to stay up on
Yeah,
pop culture,
yeah,
so
yeah.
I did. I
Okay.
know I did, but now I don't have to. So no, I
You're
don't.
living it.
I was going to say that is exactly right. I'm
you don't
living it
need
with
it.
Duffy Women right here. I
ouch.
am. Yeah, I am.
I do consider myself a JWoww, so
Yeah. There we go. There we go.
I see that.
So yeah, it's
I pop off for sure.
You do
Oh, that's the
pop
phrase?
off.
You
That's
pop off.
That's
I
a
pop
nice
off.
way to put it. But yes,
I'm a nice
she does.
gal. I equalize it out.
You do.
I am a
You
good
do.
citizen. Otherwise,
But yeah, it's bizarre.
Citizen.
yeah, like I helped. There's this older woman who lives in the apartment complex across the street from me, and she always. She's old. She's very old, but she can't walk very well, and so she lives. There's stairs to get up to her apartment. And every time I see her, she's struggling to get her groceries up the street. This is, I know, I shouldn't say good deeds out loud, but like every time she
Well, you're trying to balance out the
I'm trying to
psycho
balance
bitch
out the
that you
psycho
can
bitch
be.
that
Yeah,
I've been
yeah.
proven to be.
Okay.
But every time I see her, she literally takes it one step at a time, and the one step takes 15 seconds. And so it's, it's a couple flights to get up to her apartment. So every time I see her outside with groceries, I always just take up her groceries and
that's very
take them to
nice.
the door of her apartment. And then I call her a stupid bitch, and then I'm like over it.
And she would never do that for her own mother. Just so you
never.
all know.
Never
Never in a
course.
million
That
years.
is absolutely accurate. She
I'm totally
literally,
kidding.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
she
man.
will make it.
Yeah.
Here's what
harder.
she would. Here's
Yeah,
what she
man.
would be doing
Yeah,
if
man.
she saw me
Over it.
laughing.
She'd be like,
Do you need
"That's
help?
hysterical, Mom. Do you need help? Wait,
Suck it.
let me see if I can." If I could
Suck
push
it.
you
I'm
down
not
the
gonna help you.
steps, yeah,
I
how's
hear
it
that.
feel to want,
Mom.
Yeah, that's
I hear
what it is.
I hear all these nice things my kids do, and I go, really?
Really?
Thank you for telling me.
Yeah.
Your son is the most polite young
People
man.
say that
Do you
to
know?
you all
Do you know
the
he
time.
helped me with
Yeah.
my husband the other day when he was doing
Yes.
something. And I'm like, oh, that's fantastic. I can't go no fucking cut the grass.
Yeah, I know.
like,
I know. It's so true.
I'm a good person.
But at least they're good for other people, Eric, right?
Yeah.
That's
I'm
all
good
we
for
can
you.
do.
We're
That's a
good
good
for
you know
you.
what?
I'm
Shelley,
kidding.
that's a
I'm
good
talking
reflection
about,
on us.
I'm totally kidding.
It's a good reflection on us.
legit.
You're you both are good. She's just
She's just
I
trying.
can't even come up with words. I don't know.
you're both wonderful. I love you both. But that's what I was saying earlier. You're both so polar opposite and
different.
so different, and so it's navigating life with both of you is always fun. That's why I wanted to start a show to talk about this
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
For sure. We have done an array of topics, which has been
we have
super.
so many more to do.
We do.
Oh, you're going to do an array of topics tonight. Don't worry.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
So
okay.
next,
Bring it.
okay,
Come on, bring it.
another
Let's
question.
go.
Another question. Do you think in society we insure everything? Our lives, our cars, our dogs. Should there be relationship insurance?
Oh my god!
I can
yes.
speak to this. I can speak to this.
Oh my God.
I just had the worst experience.
Oh, she
We
did.
both can.
Yeah,
Well,
you
yeah,
both.
well,
yeah.
Let's see if you-
I
let's-
actually moved
let's
it.
see
Yeah,
if
you
can
didn't
talk
move in,
me.
but
I
yes,
actually-
you're right. Yours,
Okay.
both of you
There
can
have
talk
been a
your stories.
few.
We absolutely.
We have
there
plenty of
absolutely
time.
should.
We have
Where's
plenty of
that
time.
wine?
I drank it all.
There's another
That
bottle.
wine. Did you really drink an entire
she
bottle?
didn't. No,
Oh,
here,
all right. Well,
here.
how do I know?
There you go.
Oh, she did actually drink a whole other
There's
bottle.
two.
All
Two.
right.
That's 4
Okay.
glasses. Okay, so I do.
That's how you pour.
I know.
It's just
I'm going to get along with you.
thick pour. Leaving me hanging. That's okay. He's leaving me hanging. I'm trying to high five. It's okay. I'm just gonna wait here.
No, I'm
until
going to
you
wait it
high
up.
five. Okay.
All right.
Okay,
Okay.
so-
So
Yeah. So I had an experience. Yes, I did. So
We're talking about breakup insurance.
yes, exactly. So this actually really applies to my life.
It does.
I started dating a guy last year around this time, and he's in the Navy, so he moves around and he moves every 3 years. And so when we started dating, it became very serious very quickly. And I had never had a relationship that was like that. And I was very standoffish to the idea. He said, "I love you" on our second date. We actually talked about this in one of our episodes.
yeah.
Yes. But I'll just give I'll give the cliff notes. So he said he was very aggressive at the beginning, said, "I love you" on our second date, was very I love you.
Emotionally aggressive.
Very emotionally
Emotionally
aggressive.
Oh my god!
Very.
the emotionally aggressive.
And I did not say I love you back because I didn't know that I loved him. And so I was
because as my therapist has taught me, there is absolutely no way that you can know if you love someone after in less than 3 months. There's just no way.
Well, and that's the thing.
And
I waited until about 3 months into that we were dating to say it back. It was actually New Year's Eve. I said I love you on New Year's Eve. And so around January, February, he was like, well, why don't you just move in with me? And he had met my daughter around Christmas time, and they had a great relationship. And I was obviously worried to the idea, but I was like, well, I love you very much and you love me, and my lease is up. So I was like, well, it makes sense to move in together, because he brought it up. And I would have never brought that up unless, I would have waited a year and a half to move in with him. Absolutely, I would have. And so he was the one who said it, who brought up the idea. And then time had gone on, and I was like, well, are you sure? Like, is there room for us? And we just did all the logistics, and it made sense to move in together, because he had a 2-bedroom apartment in Lawrenceville. So my lease was up at the end of April. So we decided, instead of waiting a full year after that, we were going to move in with him. My daughter and I were going to move in with him, and he was super excited about the idea until we moved in with him. And then we moved in with him, and 3 weeks later, he came home one night and was like, I just don't love you anymore, and I don't want to be with you, and I'm not willing to work this out. Yeah. I don't want to talk about it anymore. My decision is final. I'm done. And I fought for it. Yes, what?
So just so we're clear, you didn't do anything right
hand to God.
She had 2 cats and a 3-year-old in the apartment.
Okay, but that's not an excuse. And
it's not. It's not an excuse. I'm not saying.
There's a woman I know who just married a man with 5 children. It's not an excuse.
Let me talk. I wasn't saying it was an excuse. I'm saying the reality of what he should have nutted up.
I was just going to say before and said, this is too much for me.
And I was going to say he should have had, because you even said he kind of backed off moving in, and you were like, well, wait a minute, now my lease is up.
We were already in the process. So anyway, back to my story. We were already in the process. I could sense that there was some distance, but we moved in anyway because I already had told my leasing office, I'm done with this apartment, I'm moving. So my dad, my friends, we all moved into his apartment. And then 3 weeks later, like I said, he came home and was like, I'm just done. And I'm not. I think the thing that hurt the most was that he came home and was so finished with it. Went from, and I don't think I'm a bad girlfriend. I don't think I'm a bad, there was no moment in my head that I thought, oh, maybe that was why he did this. Like, there was no moment where I was like, oh, it makes sense that he came home. It was too much for him, and he wasn't mature enough to handle it. And
what's her name?
I asked him that.
That was my first question.
Why is that everybody's first thought? When it happened to me too, everybody's like, who's he cheating on you with? I was like, he's cheating on me with his job.
No, because it was so abrupt. It was so abrupt. It was
I agree.
Out of nowhere, and there was no, like I said, there was not one moment where I was like, oh, that was why we broke up. He just literally distanced himself and was done. And I'm almost done, I promise.
Okay. I do want to say something.
I'm just saying that so anyway, so he basically left me with nothing. I had to move back into my mother's house. I had just left my apartment that I had been in for 2 years, the only apartment my daughter has ever known.
Okay.
And he left me, and when we moved in together, I get a good chunk of change for my tax return because I have a child and I can claim her on my taxes. So I get about $5,000 back in taxes, and I got it about a month before we moved in together.
Right.
And so I spent most of my money on medical bills, on bills, on everything, just to pay off a bunch of stuff because we were moving in together. So I was safely assuming I was going to be able to save my every paycheck I received, because he works in the military, so he gets a good salary, and he was able to pay for everything regarding the apartment by himself. So it was one of those moments where I was just like, okay, well, I'm gonna pay off a bunch of bills. I'm gonna do this. And so when he left me, I had nothing.
Right.
I had nothing. And I'm not gonna get emotional, I promise. But it was just one of those moments where I was like, really? Like, in that moment, did I wish there was relationship insurance? Absolutely, because I felt like he owed me something for agreeing to allow me, not just me and my daughter, to move our lives into his space and then 3 weeks later, not be at the place where he was willing to give it to work on it. I even said, I was like, should we go to a therapist? Like, do you want? And he just shot everything down. And so yeah, like my dad was like, you should get some money from him. Like you should ask him for money. I was like, there's nothing I can do.
I said that to you,
but
because
you both
my
did.
friends
you both
were
did.
like,
there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I could do.
Yeah, cohabitating. Is that right?
It's
Is that
not.
right?
Well, she had
well,
the same
she
experience.
had the same
Yeah,
experience,
it
but she
doesn't-
didn't move in. She was that. Fortunately, was cut off at the pass, right?
Yeah, cut off at the pass. No, what I wanted to say though was, I think that's why it's so important to listen to your gut, because she knew he was going way too quickly, and she knew that he was. She knew she wasn't comfortable with it, and that's kind of what happened with me in my situation too. It was the same exact thing. It was, I love you. You're the one. I've been looking for you this whole time. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Let's have kids when we're 33.
We're 33.
Just I want to be a
There's an
city
age.
dad. Do you know what I mean? But just like very specific things that I guarantee you he would claim that he never remembered saying, which is
Right.
the other big problem, and that's something I'm learning too. But I think I always knew, like, it was just, I always felt like I was being like pushed. And I think if I would have allowed myself to live more in that space, even though I liked him and I was attracted to him, and but that's the problem with when you get into a relationship where you're attracted to somebody, is there's the attraction and you think that's what love is.
Yes.
And then there's your gut feelings and the real things that you're happening, and what's really happening manifests in the present. And I think if I would have been a little bit more strong-willed about holding my boundaries, which I've said that before, I said that on our show, and listening to my gut, I probably would have figured it out a lot sooner, and we probably wouldn't have got on a second date if I was doing that.
But here's the thing: we're all human. We all, we do. We lead with our hearts sometimes. We have to figure it out. I mean, you do sometimes what you probably know you shouldn't. I mean, but yet there's that, it'll be fine. It's all going to work
we'll
out.
figure
You're
it
going to feel
out.
great. It's going to be wonderful. I mean, I love your dad. He gave me 2 amazing kids, but it was one of those things where it was somebody my mother loved. My mother hated everybody that I dated. Everybody. When I say hated, I mean there were people she wouldn't allow in her home.
Yeah.
So when she fell in love with my then husband, or my who I was dating, it was like, oh God, this is amazing. This is wonderful. All my friends said, oh, he's perfect for you. I mean, I knew him 6 months.
Oh, that's another thing.
Oh, I forgot it was 6 months.
I am no longer, and I am just now, and I feel like every time we have these like big philosophical topics, I like realize it, which is so helpful. But I am no longer going to listen to what anyone says.
You're right. You're so
Even
right.
No, it's
my
true.
friends,
I know.
even my friends, even my trusted confidants, like,
Yep.
I appreciate what they have to say, but like, this is my life, this is my journey, this is your life, this is your journey. Like,
Very true.
You
Yep.
can take advice, and I think you should take into consideration like what people are telling you when you're, and especially if you're actively seeking advice because you don't know what you're doing. But I am really glad that I do, like, and again, I've just learned it, because you know what? If I choose to do it and I choose to go through it, and I know that I'm comfortable making the decision whether I know it's going to be good or not, once you get to the other side and things end or whatever, then you feel it and you really see it the way you need to see it.
And that's the hard
And that's
part
the learning.
about being a mom or a dad.
Yes.
Is you're watching. And
She's
only
looking
thing,
at me
no,
directly.
I didn't. I looked at her too. Here's the deal. We've
Just
been,
so you know, when you screw up, it has consequences.
No, that's not what I was going to say. The
No,
thing
it's all right. I
is,
get
both, like, you.
I get it. It's
See,
fine.
I'm old and now
It's
I
fine.
forget. Shut up. I can't remember
Maybe
what I was
shut up.
going to freaking say.
If Evelyn was here, she would tell you that shut up's not a
I
nice
know,
word.
and she's
Grandma.
right. Be quiet. As a parent, watching, because I always told you girls, it's not that we're smarter. It's not that it's our generation.
John
it's not
Duffy
any
came
of
up
that.
with that, not you, but
No,
You
it
repeat
isn't.
it.
Oh no, I have always said that.
Oh, no.
Always said that, and your dad may have said it too, but I always said that. We're not smarter. I always said that. But we have more experiences and more life
It's
experience.
true.
So
I agree.
So we sit back and we're like, oh crap, I see this train wreck coming. But the fact of the matter is, no. But the fact of the matter
You
is,
said it. I'm not gonna deny it.
Whatever kid, whatever situation, you have to let them make their own mistakes and live their own life and
agree.
lead their own journey. And let me also say this. That's the wonderful and amazing thing about your generation is you don't take crap and you don't, you know what I'm saying? So you're learning from our generation.
I appreciate that.
We learned from ours. That's my whole point of different generations.
each learn.
There's nothing bad, nothing's better about anything.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, 100, I am there, 100%. You were.
But
No, there's no but.
However.
In addition, in addition,
Okay.
because I will give your generation a lot of shit. I just do because because
We get
hey,
it. We give you guys a lot of shit. So
I'm
Exactly.
a realtor. I have a lot
Exactly.
of clients from like 18 to 80, so I
who was
see it
18
all.
and buying a house? Because
Yeah.
I wasn't
You
there.
know what I mean.
I had
You
one
know what I
last
mean.
year.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Don't
Yeah.
make me feel bad about myself. Let's not go on that. Let's move on.
Okay. The point is, though, what's great about your generation to me, as someone who's very critical, because the shit I see, is that you don't assume what you're being told is the reality.
Yes.
Or
Yes.
that is the reality of where you should go in your life. You
Exactly.
question
Yeah.
Yep.
I think, I'm not speaking for you, I'm
No,
saying
I
our
can tell you.
generation.
I can tell you,
The
yes.
heavy hand of our parents, the heavy hand
yeah.
of my parents,
yeah.
when I was a teenager and a preteen, and even beyond, earlier,
Still, sometimes
was
to
very
this day.
freaking heavy.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I know.
Oh, it was a
Whether
very
it
different
was
world.
fear, whether it was
It was a lot based on fear. You're
it
right.
was, and it might have been the times we were living in. The 70s were like a trippy kind of time, and the
Yeah.
early 80s were scary with Reagan threatening to bomb people. It was nuts. On top of your parents being heavy-handed, that you're not going to have a future. If you don't do this, if you don't go to college, you stand no way.
Yeah.
I had all of that. Now,
Yeah.
something in me flipped, and I just told my parents, sorry.
Yeah.
And I went a different direction. Sometimes it worked, and sometimes it didn't. I don't know what about me did that. I'm glad I did it.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure it was always the best move.
Well,
Well, you
Here
had
I
to
am
learn
telling
that.
my children, I'm telling my son, you should really get this degree and da da
Yeah.
da. But I sit back and I reflect a little bit and I say, you know what? He's looking at me, a college dropout. Somehow I figured it out, But I guess the path, you want them to have the easiest path.
Yes,
Well,
we
as a
will
parent-
do as a parent.
As
It is
a
about
parent, you want it to
perfection.
be easy.
We
for
Right.
want it to be
Right.
the best for
Right.
them that it
Yes.
can possibly
Well,
be.
that's how they
Yeah.
feel about me. I mean, I'm a college dropout as well. I only completed.
I know. It's yeah.
Oh my God,
We
Alex,
put
do
it
you
on
want
the
to?
right side of the table.
Alex, you want to go get a bite to eat down the road? Please.
I'm fine
Yeah,
with just
right
hanging
on.
out
We
with
can- we
you.
can continue. That's
We can
good.
have food too,
That's right.
We
That's
need to
right.
order
Dropouts
food.
mean.
We
But
do.
I
right.
totally agree because I felt like I had to get a degree, but I wasn't happy and I was too young to understand what I truly wanted. And so I felt like a failure for leaving school. I had a lot of anxiety. I mean, I still do, but that was the main reason why I left school and I couldn't handle it. And I wasn't
It's not
mature.
for everybody.
It's
Would
not
you
for,
agree with
and
that?
it was
I
not for
totally
me.
agree with
But
it.
did you,
but
did
I
you
had
think it was at one time?
Oh my God! When I was going to school
Yeah.
and when we were raising them, I mean, we live in Mount Lebanon.
It was
so
beat into
it wasn't
us.
where it wasn't if you were
Yeah,
going
it
to
was
school.
where.
It was
Where.
where.
Yeah.
But then you realize that not all kids are the same. Some people don't do well in school. Some people don't know.
I'm smart. I'm
Yeah.
a smart ass woman. Don't you get it
You're a
twisted?
smart ass.
I
I
am a
haven't
smart
forgot the
ass.
smart part yet, but you're definitely smart ass.
comma woman.
Yeah.
But I don't take tests well. I'm not a test taker. I'm intelligent, but I cannot sit down and remember multiple things, and that's what college and high school were based off of. I was a C student in high school. I got
Yeah.
into IUP and WVU, and I just but ask them. I mean, I know things. I
know things.
She knows things. She knows things.
I know things. Do you know things?
I know
I know a
things.
few things.
I might know a few things.
I think we all know some things. We all know things.
I know things.
Listen, I'm just saying I don't
I know the
base
capital
my
of Washington.
intelligence.
It's Tacoma, right?
What is the capital of?
I didn't know that.
What's the
It might not
capital
be.
of
I have no
Pennsylvania?
I'm just saying that I don't
Could be
base
Seattle, I don't
my
know.
basis of intelligence off of whether I graduated college or not.
Yeah.
And I think you
that's
could
I
probably
totally
say the
agree with
same.
that.
1,000%.
Is that I when I put my mind to something, I achieve it. And like my job that I'm at now, I didn't know a year ago, but yet here I am a year later, and I'm really good at it.
Yeah.
And so it just some people are different, and some
Yep.
people and like
that's
some
okay.
people are like influencers. They're more artistic than other people
Okay,
are.
and that's my comment about your generation. Whereas like when I worked in corporate America, I muscled my way into this job, and I was working with a bunch of people in this big room that all
Yeah.
had college degrees.
Yeah.
And then once they found out I didn't, Now, and maybe I was perceiving it heavier than it was, but
yeah,
I was
yeah.
the ugly stepchild in the room.
Yes.
But that made me work harder.
Yes,
and I wanted to
absolutely.
beat those sons of bitches that had masters on because
Right.
I was better at my job than them.
Well, that's what it
you
doesn't.
know?
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't
Good
define
for
it.
you. Yeah,
Your
you're
college
right.
degree
Good for
does
you.
not define
Right.
your intelligence,
Right.
and that's what I'm
Right.
saying. Is that just because I don't take tests well, it doesn't mean I'm not smart.
So, but your
So
degree
it's hard.
questions more, and I think it's more acceptable now to. It wasn't
Exactly.
acceptable
Wasn't
for us, right?
acceptable.
When I
Nope.
when I was trying to get a job, I mean, literally,
We had to
yeah.
have a degree.
in the
Like
80s,
I've told you.
in the
Yes,
80s,
you had to.
yeah.
Now you have to have a master's
Yes.
to get any job.
Yeah.
Well, no. Google, Facebook, all these
Yeah,
big
I was
companies
just
are
going to
saying
say
that
they're
you don't
all
need to have a
different.
college
They've
degree.
all backed off
Are you
on
hiring? Is anyone watching from Google or
They-
Facebook? Are you hiring?
Hey, I mean, seriously.
me, I'm
But
smart.
That is-
it
well, that's
fills
well
that
known now.
mentality, though. You
Yeah.
work hard and you learn a
And
skill
that's
and you
really
teach
what it's
yourself
about. That's
stuff.
all it's about. That's the thing. Like, I respect companies that respect their employees, and that's, I think, a huge thing as well. Is that Google and Facebook? I think they're big name companies, and they respect their employees. Like, if you need to take a day off, take a day off. And like,
Yeah, unlimited
if you feel
PTO.
respected,
Yeah.
I will work 10 times
But
harder
you can't
than I
take
would.
advantage of it
No, but
either.
there-
Do
Mom,
you know what I
but see,
mean?
but
And
that's
there are
the thing
always
that I was
people
saying
that do
before.
that.
There are always people that take
Yeah.
advantage
No,
of the
you're right.
system.
You're right.
But someone like me, I would be thankful that they respected me enough to know that I want to work for them and I want to improve their business.
Yeah.
But I need to know that if I'm taking longer than a half hour for lunch, that I'm not going to be lambasted. I said both, so whatever.
In trouble.
Yeah, you get in big trouble.
In trouble. I'm not going to be in trouble for it. And I've had jobs in the past where it's like you're so under a microscope, and that just tenses me up 10 times more. Like, oh, I don't want to screw up, and I need to be here all the time. And it's just it doesn't work like that. And I just think that.
Hey, Eric.
What?
Would you reach over and on her back she has an on-off switch, and then there's a middle switch that makes.
Do I talk a lot? I'm so sorry. I'll
Did
shut
you
up.
have it installed when she was
I'm so
5?
sorry.
You
Talk to them.
are no, you are on a roll, which
I'm so
I
sorry.
love.
Talk to them. Ask
It's
them questions.
Are you
hysterical.
kidding
I don't
me?
see
This is
you
what
like
we
this.
do. This is
like
conversation.
You don't
See
do
See her
this.
like this?
No, not like this.
I'm on it all the time.
No,
I feel like you're like this all the time.
Oh.
no.
So, okay, talking about corporate America, because
Yes.
obviously different generations. You were in media, so I kind of envy you because you did what I always wanted to do quietly. But you still had an element of corporate there. There was a business to run, and okay, I get it. I
Yeah.
get it. I will tell you this, and going back, the 5 jobs I had before I became a guitar thing. Whatever I was, a
legitimate
guru.
career.
Oh, it was very legitimate, but it was whatever I was. I won't gonna say guru. That's these
Guru.
No.
Say you're guru.
No, I don't know. The Buddhists don't like me that much. Anyways,
Yeah.
The very, very best supervisors, managers, bosses I had were all female. They were absolutely
'Cause we have our shit together.
positively.
Yeah, 'cause
and
we
the
know what we're doing.
one male
We
boss I
communicate.
had for a couple of years during my communication years, I'll leave it at that. I don't want to out him, although I'd love to. That's son of a bitch.
He knows
But
who he
the
is.
only one. I mean, it paled in comparison to how well I was treated.
Yes.
I mean, I can go all the way back to when my first job was in a pizza shop in this town.
Yeah.
All the way through to the day I left PageNet, the company I was at. He's outed now.
knows who he is.
Anyways, the point is,
He's watching.
The point is, every single boss that I had that I loved would have like died on a cross for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would have gone
Yeah,
to bat
totally
for them,
get it, yeah.
done whatever they wanted to do. Was female,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have guys at work that actually say that because our boss is a female.
Yeah.
And they will say, I would rather have a female boss 9 times out of 10 than a male boss. I think we
It's just
communicate
different.
better.
It's
I think
just
we
different.
take care of. I think we make an effort to make sure people are okay. And
Yes.
We're
think-
nurturing,
yeah,
I think,
we're
and that's
nurturing.
what it
That's
is.
it.
There's
That's it.
there's
That's
a
it.
nurturing thing that
And
goes
it's not
with
like
that.
you can't go from work to home life and just expect to be treated
Yeah.
at work like you're just a machine. So when someone
Right.
treats you like a human at work, that's my whole point. That's what I'm
Right.
saying. If you treat someone with respect and emotional capability, you have emotional capability to treat someone. That's
get
why
it.
women are better bosses, I think, because they have that ability to just care for you and care about your life outside of work because
Yeah.
work isn't everything. And that's what
Right.
I think the difference is that work is not everything, and women realize that.
Well, your generation's starting to really find that out, and
Which
you're
is
starting
I'll be a boss.
good.
and you're starting to run your life. You're running
that's what I'm
corporations that way.
Yes.
You're running your life that
Eric,
way.
that's exactly
It's
right.
hard
And
to
it's
be-
so good.
How
And-
many times in your life were you afraid, whether it was your children that were sick or even when you were single, when you were
I
afraid
still feel that
you were afraid
to
to
this
call
day.
off for if you
Oh my
really were
gosh,
sick,
to this
Oh, yeah.
day.
because there was going to be consequences.
I would know. Yeah.
No, I
mean,
still feel that
yeah.
to this day.
3 sick
It's
days
tough.
a year.
Yeah.
Don't abuse
I don't even
it.
get sick
Yeah.
days. I don't even get sick days.
You
And that's the thing.
guys, I
What?
have such a good job.
You
do,
I
and
love
that's
the
my
thing.
job.
That's-
You
She
are
has a
living
great
that
job.
life. You do. You're
Yeah.
living.
She
You
has a
work
great
with
job.
great people.
Yeah.
I've met many of those people.
Yeah.
Honest to God, she's got a great
I'm
situation
jealous.
going on.
I was texting her today, telling her how jealous I was because I do. I'm not saying that my job is terrible. I'm just saying that I do feel anxious about, and maybe that's just my personality, but I do. Like, I have a daughter, and I get scared to say, hey, like, I can't come in. My daughter's sick. Like, but that's what I mean about the whole having a woman as a boss. They understand that, like,
Well, we're nurturers by nature.
But your home life is just as important, if not more important, than working your 9-to-5 job. It is, because that's who you are.
You work to pay the bills,
And that's exactly
hopefully
it.
you enjoy it. Hopefully it's something
But there are
that
some
works.
people that don't
Yeah.
that do just work to pay the bills, and if those people feel as if they're not respected, they don't. That's what I'm saying. They get tight. Like, I feel tight all the time, and it makes me sad because I love my job and I love what I do, but it's just sometimes it is hard. But that's what I'm saying. The whole point of women as bosses is it's proven to be better.
All right, so let's lighten it up a little bit. So,
Yes, okay.
So why is it that us guys, even us, some of us fastidious guys,
What does
we
that
still
mean?
get ready in
I'm sorry,
20?
what word?
Fastidious.
Meaning
You know,
they
like-
care
Spell
about
it.
how they
Use it in
look.
the
we
sentence.
care about our look. We care about, we care somewhat about our,
Metro.
we're not apes walking around unsbathed for a month.
No.
I hope.
No.
Well, some do.
Maybe. Stay away from me. If you're out there, don't come near me. I want your stink on me. But I'm saying, why is it in 20 minutes, 25 minutes maximum, sometimes
God.
10 minutes, we can get ready. We
Oh my
are ready.
God.
We are ready.
I
We
just
are ready to
had
rock
this
and roll.
conversation
That's not
with
Do you even have
my
hair?
husband.
But I'm telling
You don't even have hair. You don't even know what
so
that's
what?
like.
Ouch.
That is literally like 40 minutes of the time.
I was going to say, I just had
Like,
this
you
conversation
don't
with
I
even
used to have
know.
hair. I had long flowing,
But did you do
feathered
it?
hair.
You didn't style it. You didn't have to style it. You didn't have to put
Who
product
the
in
hell
it.
do you think
didn't have
I
to blow it
was?
dry.
Of course I had to
Okay,
style.
Sarah, you
I don't know
you
what
can
y'all are
sit
talking
back.
about.
You can sit back in this
I
conversation.
go out looking like a gremlin all the time, so I
Well,
don't know,
you know
what
what?
you're talking about.
When I was
Throw
in
it in a
radio,
bun.
when I was in radio, everybody used to be like, "Well, you just go in sweatpants and no makeup." No, because you know what? I had
I
guys that would probably make fun of me, and again, that was a point where you cared about that kind of thing. But not only that, but we would have clients that would come in.
Right,
I always
right.
wanted to look,
Yeah.
no matter what, I
Presentable.
always wanted to look presentable. So I would do my hair, I would do some makeup. I didn't do full makeup, obviously, and full hair, but I always went to work presentable. But it's true, even just going presentable. From start to finish, it takes me 45 minutes.
Hashtag
Sometimes,
Hashtag gremlin. It takes me 2 minutes in the morning.
but
It does. You literally
I
get
literally
up.
I'm up.
She gets up at 8:30 and has to be at work at 9 and feed Evelyn breakfast.
she
pack
usually
lunch,
Evelyn eats breakfast in the
and
car
drop-
or in daycare.
and
She
drop
never
Evelyn
gets
off.
up and feeds Evelyn breakfast.
She has breakfast bars and she's still alive and,
And then
thriving, honey.
She
She's
was
thriving.
crying this morning. She was like, "Mommy, I want pancakes." And
I
she was
know.
like,
I
"Where?"
No, bitch, you're getting a breakfast bar.
Oh my god! Yeah, Sarah is not going to get up
Minimalist.
and make, and not going to make.
Minimalist.
Hashtag minimalist.
Yeah,
and
that's
look
what
at me,
that
I'm
is.
Not going
thriving.
to do that.
So let me
Thriving.
ask you a question.
Yes.
So you meet a guy, you're having like a relationship or first couple
What's that
dates.
like?
No, first couple dates.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you get ready in 5 minutes.
Oh no.
No.
It's at least 15.
You know
like
what?
I actually no. I will shower. I will blow dry my hair. I will curl my hair and I will put makeup on. Absolutely for the first couple dates. Maybe that's
And
when
you can get that done in 15 minutes?
No,
Sarah,
it takes an hour. It's an
Sarah
hour.
will get ready for the mirror. Take a selfie.
I'll take a
and
selfie.
then
Oh
go to
yes,
bed.
Yeah.
yes. That is
She will
something
take an
that's very-
hour to
Yes.
literally put on an outfit
Yeah.
that she will not
Yeah.
wear out.
No.
But to take a
No.
selfie in front of her
I
mirror.
don't have a social
Wait,
life.
but she'll pretend she's going
Yeah.
out.
Let's
She'll
dive into
pretend.
that a little bit because that tends to be a little bit, yeah. So
yeah,
so
she
here we
does
go.
that all
okay,
the
so,
time. Very good, Alex. Very good.
Okay,
It's true. That's literally the face.
Whatever.
And everybody's
Shelley.
always like, "Where are you going?"
Shelley,
and
we
she's
are
like,
living in
"Nowhere."
strange
Oh,
times.
honey, I
We
know.
are living in
Trust
strange
me, I
times.
know.
Let me
Listen, I'm
tell
still
you.
single, so really, what does it do for me? Nothing. really.
It does
nothing.
something for your self-esteem. You
Exactly.
do it for yourself.
You do.
See,
You
and
look-
again,
you always
that's
look
something a
pretty.
man. I can't comment because we don't wear makeup. We don't. Some of us
No.
don't. We generally
Some of
don't.
us
We
don't.
generally just don't.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
our whole grooming and our whole etiquette is different.
It is.
And
It always
and
has
we
been.
can't. And I don't pretend I even understand it. I just, it's that because no matter. And I will say my wife is amazing with this because she can go out looking great in 15, 20 minutes and she's ready to go.
Sure. Yeah.
I've had wives prior.
Number
that-
two.
that it was about an hour and a half before we could go to the mall.
No,
Because
no,
it was-
I don't do that.
No, but
No,
see, you know
yeah.
what? Here's the key, you guys, and this is what you all make fun of me for, but I always look amazing.
You do.
Curate your closet so anything you go to pick is gonna match.
I have 4 outfits and they're all from Target, and I put them all mismatched.
But you're right. But Alex, you're also a fashion. You also do a lot with
She's
fashion.
fashionista.
You
Yeah,
did a
but-
blog. She is, and so she can put on anything.
Okay.
Plus, you also
No, I
it
think-
is true.
I think she's just saying that she just like put anything in your closet that you would wear
Well, that's
anywhere
what I'm
and be
saying. That's what I'm
comfortable in.
saying.
That's
She
what I
feels
again,
good.
I don't
4
stress
outfits
out.
from Target.
I don't stress out when I go to my closet because I'm like, okay, and it's all really how I accessorize. But like honestly, like
Yeah.
I went to Athleta in leggings and
bra.
a sports
And a
bra
bra.
last night. Yeah, but it was new. It all matched, and I had nude shoes to match it. I knew
Sure.
exactly because I have those like 3 main colors in my closet, and that's all you got to do.
Yeah.
And yeah,
You rock it, and that's the thing.
And
I
I
think
go
it's
out
about
with
I think it
confidence.
seems so
Yeah,
easy.
It is. It's about
It's about
confidence.
confidence, and
I
it's
go
about
out
how you
without
feel about
makeup.
yourself.
I literally worked the last 2 days this week or last week with no makeup on, and I had a huge
I never wear
zit
makeup.
that you were pressing to talk
I
to.
pressed her
makeup
zip like
every
it was a
day.
zip, like a call
Like a
button when you try to
doorbell.
get into someone's apartment. I was like, "Oh,
She-
can you let me in?" I
She
just like I
literally
need.
came up to me. And
Are
was like,
you serious?
But
Dead
isn't that
ass.
like touching your belly when you're pregnant?
Well, she's
No.
my sister,
It's
so I guess
sister,
it's a
I
little
And I
guess.
touched her
different.
zit, and I was trying to get into her apartment. She wouldn't let me in. I was just kept pressing.
I don't know.
Whatever.
All right, so why is it that why isn't a woman just can't say no?
So many can.
Wait, let him ask the question.
Yeah,
Yes,
get
you
the question
really,
out yet.
you are.
Yeah.
She's wired.
She's chatty Kathy.
No, I know.
Did you have did
she
you have
has a lot
coffee
to
before?
say.
I have a lot to say. I'm
All
so
right,
sorry.
well, so
Yeah,
They
why
keep me
is
in a
it-
cage.
Why is it generally, these words generally, women don't say, I mean, they sometimes say no, but they oftentimes say no. But they will
long as you
they will
listen.
use the phrase, we'll see, instead of just coming out and saying no.
Wait a minute.
Because we know
Wait.
when they say, we'll see, it's a no.
Wait,
it
you
ain't
said
happening.
you took a woman. You told us you took a woman to the Outer Banks, and you were not sure of
I don't know if he
her.
wants us to talk about this.
You're right.
Okay, I'm just calling it out.
You're right.
You took a woman to the Outer Banks, and you were not sure of the relationship with her. So, if you feel that way, and you were
That
willing to take a woman to the Outer Banks, and
is
you weren't
true.
going to sleep with her, you weren't dating her, so don't come at us and say, "How do women, not just say no?"
Oh my
It's the
God,
truth.
I know. I feel like that's the
Men
problem.
give us mixed signals.
They do.
all
I am
the
literally.
time.
Touche.
You guys, it's so true.
All the time.
Ex-boyfriend, same thing. It was one day. It was, I love you. I want
Yes.
to be with you. I need to talk to you. I'm begging you to talk to you. I need you to
Yes.
hear me. And then literally the next day, it's, oh, I'm too busy
Yeah.
to reach out because I'm working. Like, sorry.
And then
You're-
we
yeah.
overanalyze it.
And then
we
that's
will
the
go
thing.
through
That's
like
what I'm saying.
a
This woman
20-point
Well,
like,
but sometimes
overanalyze in our head.
This man took
But
me to the Outer
sometimes
Banks.
that's a dick move, though. Okay, like I'm
Is that called,
sorry.
what's the term ghosting? What's that mean?
It
means
means
my boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
Literally, I moved in with him, and then he broke up with me that night. Never spoke to me again.
So that's ghosting.
Ghosting.
Like
You
disappearing.
never speak to somebody again.
Yeah.
And I think it's more extreme, obviously, in my case, where he was in a full-on relationship with me.
he literally never spoke to her
and
again.
literally never spoke to me the next day after
Didn't
I
we
moved
call
to
that
my
a
own
one man,
thing.
a one night stand?
No,
back
no,
then?
no. Well, no, that not in their
ghosting
case.
is like when you actually have like multiple encounters or even
So
like 3 to 6
quasi
months.
relationship.
Yes,
Yes,
and
yes.
then
It's-
literally
yes.
one day we should post this, you guys. I follow therapists on Instagram.
I love
I'm
you.
not laughing
for
at
you.
you.
Both of you.
The
for you.
comments
I
funny.
am really trying to like figure out my
And you
shit.
are, and you're doing
So-
really
You're
great.
doing amazing, sweetie.
You're doing great.
Thanks, guys.
You both
But
are.
I follow this one therapist, and it's Mindful MFT, I believe.
Yes,
She's
I
a
follow
New
her
York
too.
City therapist. She's
yeah.
married to a at Man Talks, who's also a therapist, and they literally have these like classes together, and they work together, and they're just like this amazing like a couple that like talks about relationships. And basically, she posted this one thing on Instagram that was things to say instead of ghosting. And I was like, this is what, because ultimately at the end of the day, like,
If you're not interested,
if you're not interested, you're not interested. But I do think I've decided, because I have ghosted people
Oh,
before.
yeah, absolutely.
Wait a second.
don't
Wait a
know.
second. You've had it happen to you, but
Oh,
you've also
yes,
done it
yes.
to people.
I've also
Yes.
done it to people.
So that's a
I
thing,
did.
then. That's
Yes.
a thing.
Yeah. Oh,
We're
no.
not
it is.
innocent. We're not saying that we're sitting here. We've never done
well,
it before.
good,
it's because
because
I-
we're not innocent.
But it's because
We're
I
not.
don't I don't know what to say, and I don't want to hurt the person's feelings.
Right.
And usually it's because I perceive them to be more interested in me than I am in them.
But that
and
tortures them more.
Well, I know, but that's why I loved this thing. I literally screenshotted it. I've been sending it out. I think education and knowing that it's okay, like, and that's the thing. I have the permission now. I have the guideline. I say what I need to say. I know I've done my part, and if he comes back at me and is mad or whatever,
Not everyone. You're not going to love everyone.
And exactly.
Everyone's not going to love you. Exactly. You have to just be honest with somebody. And I totally
Right.
agree. I saw something that was like on
Yeah.
Twitter. It was a woman explaining to a man, "You're great. You're a great human being.
You're great.
It's just you're not for me. That's all." The world.
That's
would
always
be-
what I used to
But it is
say.
hard. I get it. So you see both sides. It's
People
hard
don't
to
like
be
being
honest.
rejected from the
But at
Duffy
the same
women,
but
though.
at
Oh
the
my
same time,
God,
I went on
yeah.
a date. A recent example.
Some of them do.
Wait,
I went
recent?
Recent.
You started
yes.
dating again?
No, I didn't date. Oh, bitch, I'm dating all the time.
Sarah.
Anyway, no. I went on one date with a man. One date, and it went really well, and I thought it went really, really great.
Okay.
And he said, like, I asked him at the end of the date, like, do you think that we could, like, where do you want to go next? And he was like, oh, I already decided that we were going on a second date. Like, the minute I walked in, we were going on a second date. And so I go, so in my head, I'm like, wow, this is great. Like, and he verbally told me this. And so wonderful. We're going to go on a second date. And then
Big red flag.
we literally never spoke again. Like, he
Yeah.
never texted me
Yeah.
ever.
Why
He,
say that?
Why
That's
would you
what-
say
well,
that? That
here-
was my whole point. Why even say
This
that?
would be a question for you. I don't know. We're
The
a
man
bunch
who
of.
don't.
Well, no, I mean just because he's a man. But,
Truth. Yes,
I mean
also.
that too. But I mean,
I was this morning when I woke up. Who knows what I'll be when I leave here tonight? But it is
I'm
2019.
Good
Who
point.
knows, right?
Good point.
I'm finding that a lot of men, and we were talking about this on the way here. I think a lot of times there are people with certain personalities. I think the three of us probably are.
Yeah.
That we kind of, when you meet us, it's kind of like it's sparkly. It's kind of like, oh, you feel like you can really like talk to people.
It's lively.
It's lively. It's exciting. You want to come back for more. You like how you feel. And it's almost like that is what overtakes any sort of like actual like right choices or right mind thinking, or maybe it's a little intimidating. And if you don't think, and that's what I think happened with our ex-boyfriends in particular.
They were intimidated for sure.
I think I think one, they weren't ready to be in the kind of serious relationships that we were ready to be in. And then I also think they put us on a pedestal instead of treating us like normal humans. And that's probably what happened with this guy. He was so excited to meet you. He saw you when you came in. He thought you were really pretty.
Oh, yeah, he complimented me the whole
He
time.
loved the interaction. And then he probably went home and was like, I can never
But you
So
know what?
he was
buy for that.
intimidated.
But
But
what
you know
about?
what?
But wait a minute. What about
Intimidated.
just the hey? He's just not in that
That's
into
fine,
you.
but that's my whole
But
point.
he's not,
That's what I'm
he's
saying.
not that into you, but it's not because like I
No.
think a lot of women internalize that as like,
No.
I'm not pretty enough, or I'm
No.
not good enough, or I did something, and I again just learned this 3 days ago. I never did anything.
No, the lesson is, that's a lesson, is that you need to sit back and realize that it's not worth finding out why
No,
this
that's-
man is not into you,
Right.
because
I
he's
learned
not
that.
worth it. And
No,
that was why
I
I didn't
learned
fight.
that.
I
I
did
did
not
learn
fight,
that.
even though I wanted
Yep.
to. I learned from my daughter's father, is when my daughter's father did the exact same thing that my ex-boyfriend did to me. He literally up and left me and my daughter one day. I learned from that. I fought for him. I flew to Chicago with my 3-month-old daughter, our child. I flew and I sat with him. I was like, let's be together. I fought to the death for that relationship
Yeah.
because that was my daughter's father.
Right.
But then with my last relationship that I spoke about earlier, even though he literally broke up with me 3 weeks after we moved in together and ghosted me, I sat back and I said, I'm not going to fight for him because he is not worth it.
Right.
Because if he doesn't see the worth of me or my daughter, it's
why
not
would you
worth
fight?
it. And
Why would you force that?
That's my whole point.
Exactly.
Is that women, if you're listening, you need to understand that if it doesn't work out, there is a reason, and you should not fight for a man who is not going to fight for you.
Exactly.
And that is the
I
point.
can think of a couple
That is
situations
the
right
point.
now.
And so
oh my
I,
god!
thank God.
Oh my god!
Got over my
Stop.
breakup so quickly. I got over my breakup so quickly because of that lesson that I learned with my daughter's father.
Okay.
Oh, is Eric still here?
Yeah, I guess I'm just amazed.
Stop. I feel
I'm
like
sorry.
it's the Sarah Duffy show and we're all just listening.
I'm so
That's
sorry,
okay.
guys. Please, I don't
No.
want it to be that. I'm so sorry.
Well,
Please
you
don't.
have a lot to say.
I have a lot to
now,
say.
logically. I mean, because logic,
I'm kidding, by
love
the
and
way.
logic generally don't go together.
Not true.
No,
Not
they
typically.
don't. Yeah, you're
Not
right.
typically.
Yeah.
So obviously the best statement overall is, if someone doesn't want to be with you,
Don't fight for it.
Exactly.
They
if
don't
they
wanna be with
don't, then they're not going to be with you.
No. And here's
And
the
you spending 1 centile of energy.
Yes.
But here,
But it's easier for a man, I think, because how we're wired. Now, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah,
It's
no.
I don't
and
want to
that's
sound
why it's
Neanderthal because
so
I don't want
awful.
to.
Wait, you took off your
But
sunglasses?
yeah.
When did
We're
that
getting- we're
happen?
getting
Wait,
serious now.
don't, because
I'm
you're
sorry, I
interviewing.
just-
Yeah, don't do
I
that.
got
Because
starstruck.
I'm just saying it may sound Neanderthal.
Neanderthal.
We know,
I got you.
Neanderthal.
I
Yeah.
got
You
you.
know, caveman style.
Yeah.
It may sound old school, maybe.
Yeah.
But I think men are more wired to turn it off and go.
Yes.
They can
There's
compartmentalize.
exceptions.
exactly
There's
my
exceptions.
Absolutely. There
There's
are some.
exceptions.
You're
Exactly
right.
my
They
ex-boyfriend.
can compartmentalize. They can say, "Oh, okay,
Yes.
I'm done."
But then 3 months down the road, when like
Yes.
something triggers them, or they're like having a good day, and they're like, "Yeah, I think I could be with this person again," and then
Yeah.
they text you.
No, he never texted
No,
me.
you know what that's
He
called?
never did.
It's called being lonely.
Exactly.
I know,
Exactly.
but that's
And
my
when
point.
I'm a guy telling
I
you,
know,
when a
but
guy
that's my
gets
point. It's so
lonely,
selfish.
they
though.
start going through the Rolodex
It's like,
in their brain.
stop.
I understand, but
My-
that's why it's not cool.
No, he had a lonely moment where I had a couple of friends. I had numerous friends text me one night a couple of weeks ago.
Oh yeah, he was at a strip
He
club.
was at a strip club
Mm.
getting kicked out for being so hammered, for yelling at the strippers, for just saying like terrible things to the strippers. And then my girlfriend, who was at the same strip club, she's married. She was with her husband. She was at a strip club for her birthday.
I don't judge.
No, I'm just saying. I was supposed to be there. That's the funniest
I don't
part.
judge.
I was supposed to be with her. Thank God I was not, because I would have laughed my ass off. But she basically texted me and said, "Your ex-boyfriend just called me super fat and he's an asshole." And I was just like, it was one of those moments where I was like,
Oh well.
That's
Yeah.
pretty funny.
wow,
Yeah.
you're an embarrassing human being, and thank God I'm not with you,
You
anymore.
dodged
And
a
it was the
bullet.
saddest
Yep.
moment where I was like, wow, this guy's at a strip club like yelling at strippers, like hammered off his ass. Like, that's so embarrassing.
Yeah.
And
But it's
felt
almost funny.
It's funny, and that's what I mean. It was that closure moment where I was like,
You need that.
wow,
You need
I'm
that.
so happy that
Kinda
we are not
summed it up.
together. And it was, that's what I'm saying though, is that it's just you have your moments.
Well, you need that closure too. At some point, in
You
time.
know, that's why I
sometimes
felt-
it takes
Yeah,
a long
but you don't
time to
always get that. I
You
was
don't
going to
always
say
get it,
you
but
don't
I
always get
did.
it, and you have
Thank
to
God.
move on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, there have been situations where I never understood, no idea, no clue, still don't. But you have to learn to cut your
Yes.
losses and
Yes.
just move on.
But again, okay, so I want to circle back. The thing that I really want people to understand, especially women, is that 9 times out of 10, it is not because you're not good
No,
enough, you're not
absolutely.
pretty enough. It's
Right.
because you're too good, you're too capable, you know too well who
Some
you
people
are.
just don't match.
And
they-
I don't think our generation, starting with our generation, I think as we move forward and the younger people start to grow, I think once again, and we've talked about this in podcast or in our shows, but the millennial men and men, most men don't know how to handle it's not a recurring thing to handle a strong woman.
Yeah.
And to know how to deal with that, or to intake that, or to be an adult with that. And I'm not saying we're perfect either. I think, obviously things
absolutely.
come that we have to, and again, that's why I'm in therapy, but
Same. Me too. It's okay.
All
but
right
at least
then.
I'm going to therapy. My
Exactly.
ex-boyfriend thinks he's too good for it, and then
No one is too
and you
good
know
for
what?
therapy.
And you're right.
Oh my
I
God, you
admire
need to go.
going to. I love it, and I've seen a difference in how
because
you
our dad
react.
is a therapist as well.
no,
Like we have
it's not. It's
No, I'm
because
just saying that it's
a
easier.
choice.
It's easier for us.
no, it's not. I rejected therapy when
Oh.
I was like,
We're
a
kind
kid.
of in therapy tonight.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
I think
talking
we
about
are.
like
This is
therapy.
amazing.
I've got it all off my chest. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. It's been the Sarah Duffy Show. Ask
It
them a
has.
question.
It
I'm
has.
so
It's all,
sorry.
no, it's good. And I was just asking why the hell you guys take so long to get ready. That was just my. I mean,
We really went off on
a
or-
tangent,
No,
didn't
no,
we?
it's all good. It's all good. I mean,
sorry.
Very simple. Is that all you got, babe?
I got lots, man.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Lies to the world. How come we can lie to the world and through these social media filters or whatever, lie to the world about reality, but we can't lie to ourselves? Why can't we lie to ourselves?
I wish we could.
There's, if you're a mature person, it's a moral compass, and you don't.
Yeah, and you shouldn't.
The what's up here and what's out here doesn't align, and that's
That's
when
why
you
people
know.
do.
So you don't think there's a
things like
bunch of men and women, boys and girls, millions out there now that are like being poisoned by social media because
I think they are.
because of
I
their
agree.
because of their decision to alter their persona, whatever they don't even know who their persona
I almost
probably
deleted
is,
all of my
but-
social media
but it's
like a couple months
through
ago. Honestly, it's
manipulating
exhausting.
pictures and
It's exhausting.
Sarah and I, when we went to visit Alex in Chicago a week
Okay.
ago, 2 weeks ago, and we were listening to podcasts. It's called Crime Junkies, and we love it. I'm
Shout out.
addicted.
We love you.
Totally
so
addicted.
much.
But
Okay.
here's the deal.
Okay.
Here's the deal.
Okay.
There were a couple of different episodes that were kind of funny because there were these people, these women and men that were on social media. Their lives seemed perfect. Everything seemed wonderful.
Well, the last one we listened to,
Everything
the
was
Watts
just
family.
beautiful.
You guys should know that story.
And then all of a sudden you read, oh, so-and-so just murdered his wife and kids or left and had affairs and like
Yes.
everybody's dead. And I mean, honest to
No,
God.
it's true.
So there is this, and that's the sad part
Of social
about
media.
social
Okay,
media.
but
Absolutely.
here's the other thing that I'm a very big advocate for. You are in control of your own social media
True.
feeds.
True.
Well, that's why you wanted to delete it.
100%.
Oh
I
my
get
gosh.
it. True.
You are the one. You can hide people. You can curate
Yes.
it. You should only be following people that inspire you, that empower you,
Good for
that
you.
make you feel intelligent. Number
make you
one,
laugh.
or
Yes,
make you
make
laugh.
you laugh.
Yeah.
which is the whole damn world.
And
but
and
I
the
mean-
other thing too, I think it's so important that people like us make an effort. We have a responsibility to be
Yes.
authentic. Perfect example. Right before I was coming here, we all decided we needed to do a live for our Athleta event on the Duffy Women page. I was exhausted. I still had to pack. I had had a long week. I didn't want to do it because I didn't want to put on makeup and go live on a
There's
Facebook
always
page for
something
millions
behind.
of people to see. But I was like, you know what? I need to do this, and I'm not going to make it a thing. And my huge zit that is kind of
But I pressed
finally
the
starting
button.
to recover.
The doorbell.
The doorbell.
The doorbell.
The doorbell was like front and center,
Yes.
and I
Old
was
school
like,
doorbell,
yeah, big one.
Yeah.
She was like, yeah,
She's cute though. It's fine.
it's fine. But and I even said it, but like I think we have a responsibility, I think we do.
No, I agree with you. 1,000.
So that's why I did it.
I thought about deleting all of my social media like a couple months back because
Why?
I've had a lot.
I
2019 have
delete
just
everything.
been it's been a trying year, and I have been knocked down more times in my
Mm-hmm.
life, I think, this year than I have any other year of my life, and it's
I'm
been.
surprised though, because you don't come across as a woman who'll take shit.
I'm a strong ass woman, but I secretly at night in my own home collapse and collapse to the world, and that's
pretty
what I'm-
honest.
and it's to the truth. I mean, I'm a very vulnerable
Mm-hmm.
human being in the sense that I put on this face, especially at work and to
Mm-hmm.
them and to everybody. I mean, my mother, my sister, and my father are really the only people
Mm-hmm.
who know that I am struggling. And I posted actually about a month or two ago.
Well, you're
I posted,
pretty honest on
I posted
social
a
media.
photo
You're
of
pretty
myself
honest.
without makeup on, and it was this paragraph that was just basically saying like, I'm struggling. Like I'm having a really fucking hard time
Yeah.
with life, and I'm sad. I'm broken, and I've had a really rough year. And it's funny because I woke up the next morning after posting that photo to like 30 to 40 Facebook messages or Instagram messages to people saying like, thank you for doing that. And that's the sad part, is that you see social media as such like
all fake.
Everyone is perfect.
It's all fake.
Everyone is perfect,
all
and you
fake.
see the perfect parts of everybody, which is why I wanted to delete social media, because you just, like so many people have said, you see the highlight reel of everyone's lives, and that's why it's so important to post the real parts of your life, which is what I've been trying to do.
And why can't we do that?
There are
I think
there are
some
a
people
lot
do.
of people
I
that
think
can,
some
but there
do.
are also a lot of people that cannot.
I'm not dismissing you.
No.
I'm not dismissing the honest folks.
No, absolutely.
You know,
But-
because I'm not even 100%.
but
Believe me, I'm
people-
not 100% honest out there.
People
I'm not.
care
I
more
mean,
about their image, and that's the thing, is that there are people out there
Well,
that
if you
care.
care
Sure.
that much, then put a brand behind it, honey, and start taking better photos. Like,
You have photo filters, right?
You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to be fake and you really want to put some intention, then do better. Okay.
Just watch the
just
Kardashians.
better.
Watch the Kardashians.
Or be real and
Hashtag
raw.
do
I don't
better.
care. No, but my point, that was a little bit of a joke. I'm working on my jokes, but
You're funny, honey.
You are funny.
You're
I
doing
know.
great.
You're pretty
You're
funny.
doing amazing.
But honestly, though, like
I haven't laughed as hard in a long
do you know
time.
what I mean? Like,
well, last night I laughed.
I know.
But I think I laughed.
But I
think
feel
we're
like-
laughing at you,
I feel
though.
like people are so scared sometimes to like really put like the intention behind it,
Yeah.
because they're like,
Yeah.
oh, people are gonna judge me for trying to be an Instagram. Who gives a shit?
But Demi
Like,
Lovato, actually, if you look
But
at
that's
Demi
the other
Lovato,
thing, too.
she posted a photo, and she recently, obviously, she overdosed on drugs last year, and she hadn't posted in a while, and a couple weeks ago, or maybe a couple days ago, I don't remember, but she posted a photo, non-photoshopped, and she has how many followers? I mean, she's super
Exactly.
famous.
It went
she
everywhere.
literally posted a photo of her real ass body, and just no editing, no
Cellulite.
nothing, cellulite, and she celebrated it,
Yeah.
and people
Wow.
went off. And
Well,
that's the
didn't-
thing, is that it's so much more receptive
Who
when you're
did that
real.
recently? Cindy Crawford did that last year or whatever. Somebody
Oh,
did that.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Some of them did. Somebody,
Yes.
yeah, I can't
I
remember
did that
who
last
it was.
night wearing just a sports bra.
Oh,
you guys.
please.
Oh, good
Yeah.
point. Good point.
Well,
You're not old enough to worry about it yet. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Them
that's
days
so
are coming.
true.
But it's the truth, though. I mean, if you post, I honestly feel like the more responses I've gotten have been me
Yeah.
being real.
It's about being real.
It is being
Yeah.
about being real, and that's
Yeah.
that's what you need,
Yep.
because, like I said, Instagram, Facebook, all that, it's a highlight reel, and it's all of the good parts, and that's again with the photo filters, is that people feel there are some people
But
out there
that's
who
not
need the
good parts.
justification.
Those
If
aren't
it's not
good parts.
real-
No,
yeah,
but that's
that's
the
It's
just
thing.
not real.
Yeah.
You-
Well,
the
but
more
if it's
real,
real creativity and you're real, again, if you're really putting an effort behind contributing to a brand and you're making it something
it's
intentional,
different, yeah.
and
It's
you use
different.
it as a creative outlet, and it's something that you are constantly trying to improve on, and you're also authentic when and where you can be. I think that's the thing about social media, though. It's not a black
I think
and
he
white
just
thing.
means that, like, you're editing yourself so much to make it seem like you're a
But we
completely
don't
different
edit,
person.
But we don't edit ourselves that
No,
much.
I'm not saying
Do
we
you know
do.
what I
I'm
mean?
just saying that there are people out there.
Well,
is
there
what his
are,
point
but-
is that.
But you look at it. Look, it's the lady with the butts. I mean, you look
No,
at it.
I know.
You know.
I know.
I mean,
I'm just saying. People
and again,
take advantage
that goes
of everything.
That goes back to all of you. Eachly, it's not a word.
Eachly. Look that up, friends. Eachly.
This one went to college.
She finished
finished
very
college.
expensive one too.
I'm still paying for it.
Our Lady of the Worthless Miracle University.
I am still paying for it. Your dad and I still pay for it. Each of us.
She finished college.
But I'm saying it's on each of us. If it really bugs you and that really hurts you and that doesn't make you feel like you're inspired to be authentic, or you don't like what kind of inspo that creates for you, unfollow them.
No,
that's your responsibility.
You have to do. You
know?
have to You cannot self-destruct as a person.
Right. And
You-
if
and
they're
I've been
doing
unfollowing.
that-
I have been
Yeah.
unfollowing. No, I do think I've been struggling with social media following and following content that really adds to your life, because it is important when you scroll on your Instagram feed and you see photos of people who pretend like they have it all together and they're not honest with themselves.
Well,
It's
that's
hard.
just
And that's
it.
sometimes why I post the real posts are to remind people that, even though, because do you know how many messages I get from people that say, wow, you really, like, I'm so envious of you. I'm not trying to make myself sound better, but, like, I do get people who say, wow, you're so funny and you're so, like, this, that. And I'm like, I'm broken. Like, there are parts of me that are real, and I don't have it as together as you think I do. And so keeping it real as much as you're posting other photos of yourself is just as
It's
important.
all about everything else in life. It's about balance, and it's about being real, and it's about, and it is about, okay, things are great in my life, and you know what,
Yes.
that's good too. But, things aren't always great in everybody's life. So
Well, that's the
what you
thing.
have
Like
to
I
remember.
said, the most responses I've gotten from
Wait,
posts.
we get it. You get a lot of responses when
I'm
you're
famous.
authentic.
I'm fucking famous.
No,
I'm cool
Alex,
as
you
hell.
look like you're like. Are you okay?
Are you asleep? Or you took the glasses
I
off?
don't have any, I can't talk. You literally are talking all the time.
Guys, stop it. I don't mean to overtalk.
Well, then you need to be like, hey, you know what? Let me see if someone else wants to say something
Guys,
before
you
I jump in.
I have really tried to be good about you guys speaking. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, but that's what I'm saying. I can't even respond because you already
All right,
are
I'm
on
done.
it.
I'm done. I have to pee after him, so you guys go ahead. Go on a tangent about something, and I'll just drink my wine. Go ahead. Go.
I have no tangent.
I guess
And she has nothing to say.
Well, I was waiting because he was asking questions. That's my point.
I am going to be driving home. That's all I know.
Well,
So, I wasn't planning to because it's not my car, but I guess I will.
I'm
you
so
don't
sorry.
want to drive the mom vehicle home?
It's
No.
my mom car.
No, it's dirty.
It is
not-
sturdy.
That's a
is
topic for a
not
whole other time. So we'll go there.
Dirty.
Sarah,
My vehicle
the
is.
back seat has stains on it.
They're making fun of me. Can you come back and help me out?
She's gonna be good.
She
So-
is insane tonight.
Well, it's always though.
She's not insane.
Bye.
I gotta take these earrings off.
So wrong. That's so wrong. That's so good. So let me ask both of you this question too. Yeah. So
That felt good.
yeah, you don't have to wear those.
No, I do. They're
I'm just saying you
really
don't have to.
gorge. I just bought them. They're from a vintage shop, but they're hurting my ears. They're clip-ons.
I was talking about the headphones.
Oh, those. Here I am looking at my gorgeous earrings that I just bought. No, I do want to wear the headphones. I think they make me look
So
official.
to be successful,
Yeah.
you especially, this is directed at you. To be a successful person, whether it's corporate America, successful in your community, in your church, your organization, friends, whatever. To be a quote unquote successful person, someone that does above the fray. That's how I value that. Goes a little extra, maybe earns a little more than average, is happy generally in life, has a good life. Do you have to be a little crazy? I mean, do you have to be a little off kilter, a little bit? Do you have to be a little nuts to be successful in today's world?
Again, it's all relative. It's all what you would consider
Cop out. You
a
realize
little
that, right?
nuts.
That's a cop out.
I mean, I've got my crazy. I'm not going to lie. There's a
Well,
part
what
of
is-
me that
what is
What
your
is
crazy?
success? What is what are we defining
exactly.
success
That's what I'm saying.
as?
There are
What do you define
different.
success
There are
as?
different
I
things.
mean, I think ultimately where it should be is that you're waking up and not 7 out of 10 days of the month.
That's a random number there.
I was going to say
21 days out of the 30 months or the 30 days, you're kind of
Except
waking
for February.
Yeah, except for February. You're waking up and you feel happy and you're finding yourself smiling when you're on your commute because something made you laugh or I think success is traditionally and again defined in your parents' generation is hard work and making money and bringing home the bacon and whatever. But
well,
I
it
think
used to be the all-American life. I mean,
Yeah,
it was
parents,
the
baby boomers,
yes,
right?
but that's not. And
but
again, that's not real.
and that puts so much
Yeah.
pressure. So I think it's more: are you happy? And what does happy mean for you? And what is
And so
happy
it's not
defined
really a
as?
cop out. It's I had to learn what was important in life. I had to learn. I'll tell you what successful to me was being good with who I was and
Yeah.
learning how to be okay by myself, how to learn how to be successful by myself without relying on other people or having a guy tell me or there were a
Right.
lot of things that I had to
taught
go
that to
through.
us.
Yeah.
And so doing
Now we gotta
that
teach
is
Evelyn.
what to me that's how right now I feel as though my life is good. I really do. I feel as though I've achieved that successfulness that I wanted to. And I'm doing it all for me. Everything that I've done, I'm doing for me and because I want to do it. I guess that's the better
Right.
way of saying because I
Right.
want to do
Right.
it. Whereas before I did everything that my mom wanted me to do. And I did everything because that's what I was supposed to do.
Our generation is so
I
screwed
know,
up like
that's
that,
what
isn't
I
it?
mean. And
We
so
were just
I
so-
They're admitting it finally.
I did everything that's just what you did, those kinds of things. So now that's not true. When Paul and I got married, it was just the two of us. My kids were not happy.
Yeah.
They were like, hey, well, we're
No,
kind of
I
bummed.
was fine.
We're kind of bummed we're not invited, whatever.
I was
there.
bummed out
there.
because it was Aruba that I wasn't going to get to go to, not because it was.
Now
you
the
know
truth
what?
comes out.
No, we were invited.
And yeah, we were invited.
We were invited.
They were
but we had to
invited.
pay.
They had to pay.
Yeah, I
Oh.
wasn't going to pay for
So
that.
who went?
Yeah,
Nobody.
It was just the two of us.
I bought a
'cause we
Gucci
still
belt
buy.
instead.
Yeah.
I did. I went to
You
Target.
bought a what?
A Gucci belt.
So yeah, that's the thing is you
Okay.
you come to a point in life where success means different things at different phases of your life. And so, yes, I've
didn't
always
look at it
had
like
a
that.
successful career. I've had an amazing life. I've been very blessed. Not that I haven't had ups and downs or moments. I remember calling your dad when I was broken, and he talked me down off a ledge.
He does.
This was
He does a
after
very
I
good
was.
job.
We were divorced.
Yeah.
John and I are
Yeah.
still very
Yeah.
good friends. He
Yeah.
was over just the other day. We had a party for
Mm-hmm.
Alex coming home. So I mean, we've all been there, but now success is something different than it was, say, 20 years ago.
Okay, so I'll give you my rundown. When I was in 20s, I had to have Ralph Lauren. I had to have a Rolex watch.
Do you have a
I had
Rolex?
to pretend somebody. I did.
Where'd
but-
the Rolex go?
Okay, he's telling a story.
yeah, that was a long time ago. I'm old. That's
I want
30-some
that
years
Ro-
ago.
I want that Rolex.
Listen,
Anyways,
I'm sure
I just
it's
gave my son a
gone.
Rolex.
I'm
I don't
sure
think he
it's
even
gone.
cares.
Well, then
Yeah.
I'll
I gave
take
my son
it.
a Rolex. I think passed down to their generations. I gave it to him at graduation. Oh, that's nice, Dad.
Yeah,
How
they
you
don't.
put-
Well,
how
that's
do you put
true.
this
They
on?
don't care.
How do you
Yeah.
put this on?
Yeah.
Do I take my Apple Watch off?
Yeah.
I
It was
care.
Yeah.
Let me finish my story.
All right, I'm just complimenting
In
your
my
Rolex taste.
20s, I felt these were important things. I had to have
Mm-hmm.
autonomy. I had to be away from my folks. Had to have a job. I could wear a tie and a suit.
Certain
That was a big
things.
thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
To keep up with the Joneses, I had to have a townhouse and couldn't afford to buy one, but I could rent one.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to have that stuff. In my 30s, I had to have a badass car. Didn't know what it was. Didn't know much about cars. Couldn't work on one. Probably ever paid for it. A lot of big, heavy car payments. But I had to be somebody. I wanted to be somebody. I wanted no one to know my name. Had to have that. Got in my 40s. I wanted to make a lot of money. Didn't care if anybody knew my name. Didn't care if I wore the right sneakers. I had cargo pants. I wore cargo pants. The
you're
point is,
hurting me.
in my 40s, I just wanted to make money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now in my 50s, I don't give a shit.
You don't give a shit
Yeah.
about anything.
about
You don't.
it.
And
did you throw the
and
cargo
I have-
pants away?
Yeah, I was
Oh,
forced to throw the
thank
cargo pants
God.
away. But I have given everything away.
Yep.
And I continue to give it
Well-
away because I don't want. I want minimalism. I want nothing.
Yes. Well,
Because
here's the thing. We
happiness.
I
work
want a lot of things.
Well, here's why. We work all our lives to get things, and then you get to be our age, and you're like, that's not what's important. What's important? Experiences, family, love, life. And it's your mortality. You've got your, you know what, you
I think about it every day,
don't
Shelley.
have.
I think about it
You
every
guys
day.
do
have
too.
done a really
I
good
do
job.
too.
You've
I
done a
do
really
too.
good job about telling that to us, though, because I sometimes I'm driving to work.
So that.
And I honestly, I'm driving to work and I'm thinking I could, like, I was driving back from my lunch break at work today, and there was a big truck that was on fire. And it was the fire department hadn't been there yet, and the smoke was billowing out of this truck. And I work right across the street from where this truck was on fire, and I'm parking my car and I'm walking back into my job, and I'm thinking, this truck could explode. I could die today, right now. And I'm not thinking it in a negative way. I'm just saying that, like, it happens. Like, that kind of stuff happens, and I need to be happy, and I need to be in a positive mood. And it's not that simple. It's not easy to be happy all the time. But I'm saying that there are moments in life where you realize I need to, and I think that you guys have done a really good job at teaching that to us. That we just need. You always tell me, just just try to pick out the
Live
best
in the
parts.
moment. It's
yes,
just
and I think
live
that
in
in that
that
moment where I was like,
moment.
what if I died right now? Like, I think that all the time, and I have anxiety, so it's hard to balance out. But I do, in those moments, I'm like, I could die right now, and I need to be happy, and I need to be in a positive place in my life, because what's it worth? I mean, we don't know what happens after death. None of us do, and so you need to be in a place where you're constantly trying to be positive.
Time is limited.
It is.
None of us is getting out of here alive. So what you have to
Yes.
do is enjoy
I'm
those.
gonna try my
I
damnedest.
know.
I'll tell
I'm
you
trying.
right now.
I'm trying to. But my point is,
I'm
you're
gonna
not
fight like a son of a
going.
bitch.
You have to. You really do. You have to. You have
Money
to just
will not
live
make
that
you
moment.
happy.
It's
No,
not
money
going
doesn't.
to.
And you can tell.
And another person's not going to make you happy.
No.
A woman or a
No.
man.
No.
You again. It's happiness from within.
Money might make me happy.
I mean, it's not about
mean,
money.
I don't
It's
know.
about pretty things.
I think
that could be cheap or free. These were
money
$8.
money
and
can
they're gorgeous.
if you
can make it
smartly
better.
can make life easier. Not better so much, but
Yes,
easier.
Easier.
I mean, easier might not be better. Easier.
True.
So
Agree.
But I hate to even say that because there's a fine line between greed and enlightened self-interest.
Yeah.
And we're here for a certain amount of time. I honestly, truly believe that we should earn as much as we can,
Yeah.
create as much as we can, do as many things as we can that we like. And life's too short to do things you don't like.
Yeah.
There's jobs sometimes we've all been at we really didn't want to go to. That sucks. There's only so many hours, man. Mick Jagger said it best: time waits for no man.
Nope.
And that time is way more precious than money. And the sooner a human being realizes that earlier in their life, the better life they're going to have.
Exactly.
But man, it's hard when you're young. I was
know.
going to live forever, man. I used to look at my dad. He was 43, and I was probably 20, 23, or 26 maybe. I don't know. And I would look at him and go, he's all grayed out. You know, he's sitting, he's miserable at the dinner table. He's bitching about his job. And I sit there and go, man, I'm not going to be like that. I'm not going to be that way. You know?
Yeah.
But I kind of got that way until I straightened
slowly
myself out.
slip
Like
into it.
you do. If you let life control, if you let what our parents told us life was going to be like, if we buy into that bullshit that life is going to be working at the mill till you're 50, get your 20-year, then go work another job until you're 70 because you don't want idle time, right? They don't want to live that way.
Right.
They live that way. God bless them. That worked for
Yes,
them.
my parents still live that way. So
And maybe it didn't work for half of them. There's a lot of alcoholism and problems in that generation too.
Yep.
Right.
But your generation gives me hope. My son being even younger than you two, that generation gives me hope. But this is really good. This is healthy.
I know. I think
you.
we did really
This is
well.
healthy. And you folks are obviously very comfortable
Did I
doing
talk
this.
too much? Was I too much?
You were great.
Yeah,
You-
pretty
you-
much.
There's no-
Was it
But
the
you're
third?
always talking too much.
Guys, I don't mean to make it all about me, but like it's all about me.
But think about it for a second. Don't you think the world needs more of this?
Oh, I
Get
agree.
people in a room. Just let them talk.
And
Yeah.
let them talk.
Don't interview anybody. Just talk.
Yeah.
I
And then
agree.
it all comes out in the end, right?
I
It
agree.
does,
I mean,
babe.
you've been in this
I
business. How
love
long
this.
have you been in this business, Shelley?
Oh,
I mean, a long
over
time.
30 some years. Yeah. And I love it. I mean, I love this. I love this format. That's why I started doing Duffy Women because I love this. And that's,
we do.
that's
we love
what
that
we
about
do.
our
So
show.
follow us.
Follow us.
Duffy Women,
Duffy Women
on
off.
Facebook.
on Facebook.
At Duffy Women on Instagram.
There you go, Shelley.
YouTubers.
Oh my gosh.
You have to subscribe because we're doing a giveaway.
Nice.
For Athleta.
Nice.
Yes, we're our 100th we're at 85 subscribers on YouTube right
You're
now.
beating
but
me.
It's
But-
tough, though. It's
I
tough.
have
it is
strategies.
tough. But
Let me know.
if we reach 100,
Yeah, we'll
100
talk.
followers
Yeah.
on YouTube, we're gonna pick a random person for a gift card for Athleta for I think $100.
How about
is
that?
it? Yes. So if you subscribe to us on YouTube,
Or
you could
literally
possibly
just covered in Athleta.
we just love Athleta. It's really what it's about.
So it's not.
Yeah.
It's Athleta.
Athleta.
I pronounce that correctly. The whole time I'm there,
You're calling it
It was
Athletica.
probably the wine.
Yeah.
The whole time I was there,
Athletica,
athletics. I had no idea.
No,
It's
really
a wonderful, wonderful place.
They are wonderful. So yeah, we have $100 for whoever
and a styling. They'll help
and
you
a styling
style. They'll work
session.
with you.
It's a
to-
nice store.
It is. It's very
It's
cool.
yeah, it's a very
There's
cool
a real
store.
chill. They're very healthy. They're very about people,
Yeah.
and there's
Interesting
a lot of
because
good
I'm
stuff.
not, but I love that.
Anyway,
Anyway,
thank
So
you.
yeah,
yeah.
you're very welcome. This was an honor.
I don't even know.
It was
I mean,
an
it
honor
just-
to have.
it
you.
was
An
so
honor,
much
so
fun.
pleasure.
I love this space.
It's a crazy
you did such
idea.
a good
I know.
job.
This
Yeah, I
is
reached out to
amazing.
Paul and said, "Do you think they'd come on my show?" He goes, "Let me
yeah.
talk to Shelley."
I'm like, girl,
talk to the boss.
we got to do this. We got to do
it.
it. So we're very
And
excited.
next time, I think what we'll do is we'll be able to have more. Well, I like the freestyle. The freestyle's good.
Yeah.
But we'll sit and collaborate, and we'll really punch them with some
Yeah.
new content.
Oh, let's
Yeah.
It won't be the Sarah Duffy
Let's
show.
see
I'm so
what
sorry.
comments we get, like, and what people say.
yeah.
I'm
And
annoyed.
Did I
we
hold
can
my
use
own
that.
for the only guy in
Yeah.
the
You
room?
did very well.
All right.
After 5 beers, yeah.
Yes.
And
Little
Peroni,
li-
it's not real good.
those
I should have
beer-
drank Red Stripe. This
A
is
little-
shit.
Liquid courage.
Those beers are like water. It seems like truly.
I don't think I've ever had one.
The last couple days, man.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
okay.
it's okay.
It's
We're
all
doing-
good.
we're doing
You're
really
doing
well.
September. It's
great.
Virgo season. My birthday is on Monday. So
You guys
people-
believe in that stuff?
Oh my god.
Oh, wait,
Please
don't get her started.
Don't get us started. Another show.
Don't do it.
Another show.
All right, well, so
then it'll be the Alex show
Oh,
because it's
God.
actually very interesting. We did a Duffy Women show on it, and it's actually very interesting.
She'll
So-
get all into the signs.
but there's even more, and I think Paul even pointed out it's Friday the 13th.
Yes, there's a full moon.
And there's a
It's
full
two
moon.
Friday the 13th within the next
Yeah.
couple months.
Yeah, you guys,
There's
get
one
ready.
now, and then in December there's a Friday the 13th as well.
But there's a full moon on Friday the 13th.
So you're
Oh,
into
shit.
astrology.
Yes, very into
So
it.
can you like read somebody and guess what sign they are?
I'm just starting. So I'm a Leo, and I've obviously studied Leo for a very long time because that's my sign. But I'm just starting to, study each sign as it like comes. So I am actually going to do a live about Virgos because she's
shit.
a Virgo.
Oh, shit.
I have
Oh,
two
geez.
really like powerful Virgo women in my work that like are.
And
Virgos.
what is your mom?
She's a Taurus.
She's a Taurus. She's a bull.
Is she a Taurus?
A bull.
I think so for the most part. Yeah, I would say Sarah's not traditionally her sign.
I'm not a
unless
virgin.
She's at work.
I'm not a virgin.
But she's a bull, and she does bulldoze her way through things. I would say she's very determined. I don't know. I feel
determined
like I
is a
should
good way to
guess.
put it.
If you had to
Evelyn's-
guess what I am, just in a short encounter, what do you think?
I'm trying.
Take a stab at it.
I feel like I'm trying.
gonna
An
surprise
Aries. An Aries.
It's gonna surprise you,
Aries.
'cause
It's
I don't think-
Aries,
I
not
don't know. I don't
Aries.
know if I really Aries.
For God's sake.
Are you a Libra?
Oh.
No.
No.
Okay, I don't know. That's actually it's
Cancer.
No, I hope not.
Virgo.
No.
Sagittarius.
No.
There's really not much left,
Libra.
guys.
I know.
No.
I'm trying to.
You're not even getting like the beginning half of the year.
A
A Gemini. Are you a Gemini or a Pisces?
Pisces.
No.
Are
then I
you a
don't know.
Taurus?
No, I said that.
There's
Oh, I didn't hear.
Aries. Aquarius.
Ooh, a water
I got it
sign.
after the 6th time.
A water sign.
And I read that stuff,
Yeah.
and it doesn't. I'm like
Do you feel like
talking
it
about
fits you
somebody
or
else
no?
over there. I don't know.
No.
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
I mean, I
Aquarius.
I
You're-
can't make a decision.
you're-
So last question before you go. Last question, I promise
Okay.
you. It's way out there, far out.
It's
just
way out
blank
there.
your minds completely out, and it's gonna be fascinating to see the difference between your answers.
Can't wait.
And your answers.
Can't wait.
Did we go to the moon?
Oh
Yeah,
my
we
God!
talked about this the
Yes.
other night.
We actually just talked about this.
Yes.
I think we did.
Yes.
I don't.
Yes. Well, of course. I mean, come on.
I'm just being different.
Yeah. That's exactly right. The sky
I'm
is
kidding.
blue.
I
No,
totally-
it's not. It's purple.
I totally think
It
we
is,
went to
yes,
the moon.
we went to the- Yes.
I think that if we were,
Do you not think we went to the moon?
I don't know.
Oh,
Well, I mean, no
he's
one
questioning.
knows. No one knows. I mean,
Well,
no one
except
knows.
Lance Armstrong,
let me
right?
ask you this
That's
last
the guy that won, I
question
believe.
in the conjunction with that. Is it possible
Yes.
that we sent these cats up in a tin can?
Yes.
And they got into the orbit, and they orbited for a while, but the whole moon landing crap was all on film. And so we sent them up there, and they did
What a
splash down because
wild question.
my father's carrier out in the ocean pulled them up.
Mm-hmm.
I know
really?
I know there was a something out there, although he said that no one saw what was inside that. It was taken away
I mean,
before they came out.
you can conspiracy theory everything.
I don't.
Exactly.
I'm
You can
just saying.
conspiracy
Could
theory
we have
everything.
shot them up there
Yes.
for look, and then could the rest of it been filmed?
Yes, of
And
course.
only a handful of people knew that.
Yeah.
Only a
But you can't
including the
imagine that a
guys who-
secret like that would
Do you
have kept
think-
secret for
Do
that
it with a
long.
handful of
You get
people?
in trouble. Like you get killed. Like if you say stuff.
Of course, you can get killed for
I'm just
anything
throwing
at this
it out
point.
there.
I'm just saying.
Just-
well,
you know,
Wait, we're
just-
the only ones that have been to the moon, yeah? America?
no,
Why haven't we gone
everyone
back?
I don't know. Why
What's the
haven't
point of
we
being in?
gone?
Okay, but listen.
I would've- if I went to the
Linda,
moon, The
listen.
energy that would be
I saw that little dude.
radiating off.
I saw that
would
video.
die.
That little kid, right? He's like,
He
Linda,
knows
Linda.
me.
He was like 3 years old.
Listen, Linda, listen.
I don't even know.
I'm just
I
saying.
know.
They don't get the joke. It's fine. I'm just saying that you can make up anything. I mean,
That
at
is
this point,
true.
we went to
It's so
Mars.
true.
Think of how many universes there are out there in the universe.
I
Like,
know,
there's
which is why I
multiverses.
believe in
Yeah.
astrology.
which there has to be other planets with other people
Yeah.
on it. And so I agree that maybe it could have been faked, but I don't think it was.
I don't think it was either.
Okay.
But
I think it
I want to talk to the people that were there.
I just
now.
want to live on another planet at this point. Like, let me go to
I
Mars.
believe it.
Let me go to Mars. I will fit
Do you
in
see,
Mars.
do you see how we ended the show?
If I could send her there,
Sending
women-
Sarah to Mars.
I
Let's
would.
do it.
Women are from Mars, men are from Venus.
All right, so this is
No, it's
episode
opposite.
1. Duffy Women invade Boogie Street.
Duffy
episode 1
Women invade Boogie
is
Street.
complete.
We really did invade.
Nailed it.
I'm so sorry. That was all my.
No, you invaded. We just watched.
guys,
We
I
just
didn't
drank.
guys,
Yeah.
guys, I did not talk that much.
Okay, watch it back and let me know what you think.
All right. Until next time,
Goodbye.
that's Duffy Women on Facebook.
Yes.
Duffy Women. You search YouTube, Duffy
Keep-
Women. Search the videos. All our videos will pop
Just
up, and you'll
search
see
Duffy Women in social media and
everywhere.
we come up.
Yes,
we come up.
everywhere, honey.
Yeah.
They're marketers if they're nothing else.
We really
true.
are.
God bless.
Bye.
See you. Goodbye.
Oh, we did so good.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I talked. Did I really talk
okay.
that much?
Oh,
my
and
God.
when you
You're
take
too-
it off,
you're
your
too
ears
quick.
are
You're
like.
Did I
fine.
really talk that much? You guys are making me
No,
so
you're fine.
self-conscious
Oh my
about
God,
myself.
you did talk a lot, but it's okay.
I didn't mean to talk that much.
Okay, you did. You did
But
great.
I didn't mean to like. You guys always say that I.